I would. That would be weird if I was in Asia automatically.
Right?
I would be upside down
You would
because it's on
be
the other side of
backwards,
the world.
upside down. Ooh, funky sounds.
Yeah, that was my text messaging.
Alpha Geek Radio says we are live.
No, actually, I think that was the what was it? Yeah, that was my phone letting me know that we're going live.
Oh, Tauren Think Tank is live. Look at
Mm-hmm.
that.
Oh, now I'm listening to us. There we go. I had to mute it.
Yes. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi,
Oh, hello.
Kane.
We're here. Hello. And I shall go tweet the deets because I have to do that or I
We're
forget.
here. We're steer. Like cows. Get used to it.
No way. You really did that, didn't you?
Hey, yeah, my moment.
You really did that, didn't you? Wow. I can barely type. I'm laughing so hard. What's our
Inspiration
name?
that strikes.
Torrent Think Tank.
Sorry, think tank. Yes.
I tried to, I've been trying to type and I can't.
Yeah.
Geekradio.com. All right, there we go. I got it. I did it. I finished it. We're here. We're steer. Get used to it. My goodness. Why has it taken
I
us
don't know.
138 episodes to get there?
I I don't know.
Dude, that is seriously funny.
uh
That is seriously funny.
I think it's just the crazy sleep schedule that lets me think of
Yeah,
stuff like
I'm
that. I
thinking
think.
so. I think you got something going on in that brain of yours, and it's quite funny. This could be a very interesting episode, then. Could make it very fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Where is he? Hey, there's the slash moves.
Yes. Down towards the
Okay.
bottom, like they always are.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do my shout out for the.
Tape, 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 tape,
Yeah.
tape, 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 tape.
I whenever I type in the chat room, I usually mute the sound on the during the
Yeah.
show.
I always because I don't notice that you're doing it because you'll kind of sneak mute and I don't see it and then I see
Yeah.
something pop in the chat room. I'm like, you shyster.
Well, they underestimate the sneakiness.
It's good. I cannot because my keyboard to type for the chat room is over here, and so I
Yeah.
would you'll see me reach if I do it. So and the camera's over there, so it's like nope, that doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah.
It's that whole two computer setup thing.
Yeah, if I had a bigger desk, I could do a second monitor and try and do something, but oh, excuse me. I've
Look at
had the
all these
same desk
beautiful
for like
people in the
11
chat
years.
room. Look at them all. They're so
Let me see.
beautiful.
Hello. Yes, I am Sneakier Sangus.
You don't even play a rogue, which is like, you should be a rogue like.
Well, my rogue is sitting at like 66, I think, or 67.
Yeah.
She's just vegging out. I'm like, monks are pretty fun. So
Yeah, they are.
I play a monk instead. But I'll need to get my rogue up if I'm going to try and get the insane in the membrane or insane title.
The insane
'Cause
title is going to be.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Why do I sound like my grandmother, Arcade? That is a very good question. I don't know. I love my grandma. She's so cool. Click, click, click. He's doing his slash boost. So we're doing good. It's a Saturday night. It has been gorgeous here in Wisconsin for the last couple days. And when I say gorgeous,
Good.
it's like, in the 50s and 60s in
Hmm.
March. That is amaze balls. Because usually we're lucky if it gets above 35 in March, and then you're waiting for some kind of big old nasty storm. Because usually that's what
Yeah.
happens around this time in March.
Hmm.
Arcane's birthday is next week, and it is always like a tumultuous like weather nightmare. I can't remember the last time we were actually like able to go outside for his birthday because it usually is just gross and raining or snowing or mixing or whatever. So
Hmm.
But
It's been like that all week down here. It's been raining all week,
yeah,
and it was still raining earlier today when I got out. But ugh,
it was
rainy
bright
and
and sunny today. It was beautiful.
oh
It was really
yeah,
windy, but it was bright and sunny.
good.
I was like, I realized that the windows in our house really need to get cleaned because as you pull open the windows and you're like, I can barely see out of that film that's on those windows. My gosh,
Oh
that's
man,
probably going to be a weekend project coming up soon. Clean
yeah,
the windows.
clean the windows.
Clean the windows.
So, my stepmother's birthday was this week, and I talked to my dad and her earlier today, and and I wished them a happy birthday. She said, "Well, you can wish me a happy birthday by singing to me tonight on the show." And so, before we get this ball rolling, I'll sing really quick. A happy
Yes.
birthday for her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to get out of the way. Happy birthday to Miss Tammy. Happy birthday to you and you and you and you. Yeah, it was bad. She said do it in a voice like Arnold or something. I was like, okay.
And so you decided to take the Marilyn Monroe cadence with Arnold. That is the best thing ever. And so, it's like, happy birthday. You kind of went there. I like it.
Well, it just came to me. So
There's some there we were rather punchy before we started the show because I needed to finagle some stuff with the stream so that it looked out okay for Marcona's screen. He can't see me right now, which sucks because there's something whacked out with my system and it won't let me show my camera to him. So, in any case, we're just talking in different accents and swearing at each other as going. This is how we warm up, guys. This is how the sausage gets made.
gotta get in character, you know.
Start getting the character.
Mm-hmm.
Zeph, you're welcome. We're very happy so far. The Pen Pal program is going quite well. It's been 2 weeks already. We've heard back from some folks and gotten some feedback, so I'm saving it. I'm saving that feedback for when we get through. But, yes. Oh, gosh. Willow. Good Lord. I hope you're okay. Ursangus knows exactly what it's like to deal with my setup issues. My God, I don't know what the hell goes on with my setup sometimes. We change one thing and it just goes all to hell. Hell in a handbasket. I don't know what we did before to fix it, so I just have to deal. Yes.
Congrats on the 74 maids there, Zeph.
Yeah. No kidding.
You're on your way. On your way.
I don't want to hear people falling. That's ouchy.
Yeah.
It's ouchy.
Ooh. When I was little, I was riding my bike around the neighborhood, and I was riding in the backyard of my neighbor's house, and my shoes weren't tied all the way, and my shoes came untied and got wrapped around the gears, and it pretty much just stopped the stopped the bike dead, and I fell straight over, and I couldn't get up because the shoestrings had tied around and they were too tight, and I couldn't reach down, so I was stuck on the ground in my neighbor's backyard for a while.
Oh no!
Luckily, yeah, I couldn't get my shoes off, so I was stuck there on the ground outside for a little while, and I think the neighbor found me and helped pick me up. I was little. I wasn't too old, like maybe probably between 10 and like 5 and 10 or something like that, but I didn't get hurt because it just fell on grass, but that was something that was funny.
Yeah, well, and not very pleasant. It's like you just wipe out. I'm like, I'm stuck on my bike.
Yeah, and I didn't get hurt or anything. It was just kind of like I was rolling, and then I stopped, and then I was sideways on the ground. It was like a slow crawl, and then just like, oh.
Oh, dude, I had that when I was riding my bike. I was riding it. Our summer home / place to go retreat was my parents had a camper, like a 30-foot camper that they parked in a campground, and it permanent site, and so it was like kind of like a camp but not, because everybody had running water, and so it was just kind of like, but it was all gravel roads and sand and that kind of thing. And I remember riding my bike on the gravel roads and hit a patch of that really dense soft sand, and my tire just went and just flipped to the side,
Oh
flinging me
man.
off my bike. And I
Oh
landed
man.
on gravel.
Ow.
It's like just shreds on my legs. Oh, it sucked. So yeah, I don't think
Ugh.
I was ever really good at riding my bike after that point, because I was so afraid to wipe out like that again. Yeah, it scarred me so bad.
Oh man.
But Kane, my camping wasn't really camping. We had a bed that was inside an enclosed space, and we didn't have to sleep on the ground, and we had
Yeah.
showers and all that kind of stuff
Was
in the
what
camper.
not much for roughing it, are you?
No. Like I said, princess.
Yeah. What about like a log cabin kind of thing out in like because there's a couple of state parks out here with log cabins you can
Yeah,
rent.
I've done it. I mean, when
Yeah.
I went to Africa, I stayed in some pretty rustic accommodations.
I was gonna say you can't beggars can't be choosers in Africa, I wouldn't
No,
think.
no, no. We were in this national park thing that you could go in and be part of it, and they had different camps inside of it. One of them I will never forget. They were shelters, but they were up on huge stilts, and one side of the shelter was out in front of a huge river, like a massive river, so there was no wall. It was
Oh wow.
completely open because there was nobody who could see in, because it was all the river, and there was nobody that it was, alligators and all that stuff. So nobody was going to be taking a boat ride down it.
Yeah,
And
no,
so
no one's
I slept in
ooh.
this, like, so you'd shower outside because there was no wall. There's
Yeah.
nobody to see it. So
Wow.
it was a little bit
Out in front of
weird.
nature.
Yeah, I was in nature, man. And then
Oh wow.
and this one was famous for the elephants to be there. The
Hmm.
elephants come underneath the shelter, underneath it, and I can
Oh.
hear them eating at 3 a.m, and I'm like, "There's really big animals below me." It is the weirdest thing in the world. So
That is quite strange.
yeah, it was an
It's quite a
experience to
strange
say the
feeling.
least. So yeah, I have to go dig up those pictures someday. I've got a CD somewhere that I've got to go find it. Some of those pictures are absolutely amazing from that trip.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be real cool.
it was a super cool trip. So, in any case, oh, it's 9 o'clock already.
Uh-huh.
It's 9 o'clock already. I'm gonna go do that right now. Change the back of the show so it says 9 o'clock Central.
Yeah.
I do this every time, and I'm like, I've got to change it, and then I forget. I'm changing it. It's done. It's changed. She wants to see the effluence. I gotta go find the disc. I'm gonna have to dig it up because I know that my ex-husband sent it to me, and I don't know where. I went with him on that trip, and so I have to find through my stuff. I don't know where it is in my stuff, but I will go look and see. Ah, choking. I don't. My voice. Where'd my voice go?
Find it, please.
Where'd
We
my
need
voice
it.
go?
Welcome to Tauren Think Tank. I'm your host, Jules.
I've done a show like that. You remember?
Yeah, I
There was a
remember.
little bit voice left, and it didn't last very long.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, are you ready, Mark Hoden?
Oh yeah, I think I'm ready.
I'm gonna sound check you.
This yawn
This
out.
podcast is a part of the Signals.
Sound check is good. Sound check is good. Chat room, are you guys ready for a show? We're ready for a show. We're ready.
I'm ready.
And the gnome is ready. Is the Draenei ready?
He might be.
Hey, the Draenei's ready. Hans and Franz,
He's
are you
the
ready?
light. Come on, Hans, we got to go get the Stampers. It's time for Tauren Think Tank. I'm going to take you down right after we listen to this show.
Oh yeah. I gotta go. Wait, let me go find the ready check sounder, and I'll put that out there. Let me my wow head sign. Here we go. Ready check. I gotta go down this. Sound. Can you hear this?
Yep.
All right. So we ready checked you. We'll ready check you guys, and we're everybody's ready. So we will
Is
go.
everybody
Hang on a
ready?
second. Let me move my stuff. I gotta move my stuff. There we go.
Yeah,
Move my stuff so it's where I need it to be. In three. In 3, 2, 1. Tonight's episode of Tauren Think Tank is brought to you by our patrons at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. If you like what we do, our Patreon site is a secure, easy way to help out the show. Thank you, patrons. Our show continues to grow because of you.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Welcome to episode 138 of Tauren Think Tank. Tonight is Saturday, March 14th of 2015. It's Pi Day. It's nice and warm outside. We're super excited. My name is Jules, and I am here tonight with the man who's been wearing shorts since January because it never gets cold where he is. It's Mark Honan.
It's Pi Day, Pi Day. Gonna eat pie on Pi Day.
Whoa.
Sorry. I've been waiting all day to make a joke about that. Sorry.
No way. Nobody's done that before. What the what?
I don't know why. It fits. I don't know if I'll get, yelled at for using that reference. But anyway, hi Jules. Happy
Hi.
Pi Day, everybody. And
Happy Pi Day.
I celebrated by having a little piece of cheesecake. Now before you get your torches and pitchforks, cheesecake closely resembles pie. It's closer to pie than cake,
Yeah.
because cake has that cake texture. It's called cheesecake, but I like cheesecake. Okay, I like pie too. And I went to the store and I was like, I want to get like a little piece of chocolate cake or chocolate cake or chocolate pie, apple pie, something. But all they had was cheesecake, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to sacrifice and get a piece of cheesecake. So I did that. So
Yes.
to properly celebrate it. So
It's true. You got to do what you got to do. I went to the grocery store today, and this woman walked up to me, and she goes, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Yeah." Like, I'm just standing there looking at, trying to find
That's
what I'm
all-
trying to find. And she's holding 2 cake tins in her hand, and she says, "So, do you think that I could bake a pie in one of these?" It was like a 9-inch round cake pan, and I'm like, "What? You don't you're asking me who doesn't bake a damn thing." I said, "Well, I think so." And she goes, "Well, it tells me I need to use like a deep dish pan. I'm making a pecan pie." And I'm like, "Oh, you had me at pecan pie." I love that stuff. So, but yeah, I was having a conversation about pie and cake tins in the middle of the grocery store today. Go figure.
that's appropriate. And the teller, like when when I went through the line and handed the piece of cheesecake, she's like, "Oh, you got a sweet tooth today, huh?" And I said, "Well, it's Pie Day, and I'm doing it." She's like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot it was pie." She was I guess she's in high school or something. She's like, "Oh, my teacher wrote it on the board and everything, like at 9:26 in the morning, and this many milliseconds is exactly pi." And I forgot about it until just now. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's okay. I was asleep at 9:30 this morning, so I missed it too." So but yeah, it was pretty good day. I'm glad we are here today. I've been looking forward to the show all week long, and especially with the announcement of BlizzCon officially coming out this week. I've been on like just a jazzed, excited kick for the last few days.
It has been it's a renewed sense of excitement when you get that volunteer. I'm reading the chat room. My God, stop that.
That's okay. I saw it right.
Okay, so this is what happens. You read the chat room and the word just comes out of your mouth.
Yes.
So the word volunteer just came up in the chat room from 2020 site, and that's exactly what I said. That sense of excitement. This is going to be a fun show. You just watch.
Oh yeah.
That sense of excitement when you see that BlizzCon has been announced, and you're just like, "Oh my God, it's 8 months away still." But we know that it's coming, so that's even better.
It's coming. I have the hotel reserved, and I am ready. Like I was I was at work and I was just sitting there, just yes. I just had like this, like you said, a renewed energy. I was
Yeah.
just practically dancing in my uniform, just about. So it was, it was a good day. It was a good day.
It was. It was for me, it was a super busy day at work, and I was and then the announcement came. And usually what happens is you got to jump on it right away to try to get a hotel reserved just so that you know you've
Hmm.
got it. It's just they fill up too fast. And so I'm in the middle of trying to juggle all of my work and try to make a hotel reservation, talking to you, talking to some of my
Hmm.
friends. And it's like, where should I stay this year? Because last year we stayed at the Hilton, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that again. It was pretty pricey for basically for a place to hold my stuff, because that's about as much time as I spent in my hotel room last year. So
Yeah, same for me.
yeah, yeah. So Marconin and I are going to be going to BlizzCon. We're also most likely to both going to be at Nerdtacular this year too, because I'm
Yeah,
definitely going.
that's the hope. I would really love to go,
Yeah.
and we'll just have to see financially how it goes, because I have enough time to secure BlizzCon, but with it only be with it being 100 days closer, Nerdtacular may be out of my price range. But I am trying to be there. I'm
That's
trying really
awesome.
hard to be there because I'm curious to see and experience it myself, and to be there
Yes.
because it looks like a lot of fun, not as busy or as just like as BlizzCon is. So I'm kind of looking forward to that kind of mellower experience, but still seeing the people that I remember and meeting new people and just getting to, network and talk and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you guys are planning on going to BlizzCon and or Nerdtacular, hopefully you will have the opportunity to see both of us there. So that'd be super cool.
Hmm.
And that's not the only thing we've been up to this week in terms of going crazy over cons that are 8 months away.
Yeah.
What have you been doing? I see that there may have been something new on the mount list.
Yes. My insomnia helped me again. I It was the night I got 90 minutes of sleep before work. I was up way too late, and about like 4:30 in the morning, uh, there was a ping in guild chat saying, "Hey guys, Knack the Thunderer is up," and that's the guy in Nagrand.
Yeah.
He's the Bloodhoof, and he drops the Bloodhoof bull mount, and they're like, "Hey, come on, you need to get in the group." And so I got in the group and flew out there. TJ Spanks, our friend Spanks, was in the group too, so she got them out, and it was really cool because when I was flying out there on I was on my Pally. I didn't have time to switch tunes. My computer died, or
Oh no.
or not. It didn't die. The WoW crashed rather, and
Yeah.
so I had to get back on WoW, and then they're like, "Oh, someone's pulled already," and they're like, "Guys, quit! Stop DPSing! Stop it! Stop it!" And then finally they were like, "Okay, okay, he's good," and they summoned me, and we're all waiting, and we wait for probably 5 or 10 minutes, and then finally we're like, "Okay, maybe we should go ahead and pull." And right when we pull, we invite another guildie in, and he's way out in Storm Shield flying in, and so we get him down to about 500k, really low, like only like 5% health, and then we just start kiting him around, and we kite him for the entire time it takes that last guildie to get here and land and he finishes off the mount so that we all get it.
Oh
So
wow.
it was a really really good experience. It was a really positive experience for the seeing how good the guildies were at yes, we are all going to get this mount, but let's make sure we all get the mount, everybody that wants it. So it was very
That
cool.
is awesome. Because, it's not that easy to be able to tell everybody, stop, 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 stop your dots,
Yeah.
make sure your pets are off of it, don't kill it. And
Yeah, one somebody's
500K.
bodyguard was attacking it, so they had to constantly send the bodyguard after other blood hoofs, and when it would kill it, he would send it over a note to another one to make sure it didn't kill it. So
Wow.
it was very cool. It was very cool. So I've got another mount. I am now 4 away from that Fellfire Hawk. So we'll see how close I can get.
That is awesome. That is very cool. And
Hmm.
I love the stories of being able to hang out with guildies and make sure that you get what you're looking for. Everybody gets the opportunity to get it, even if they're just being pulled in from far away. So
Yeah, it
very
is
cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. Another thing is I finally got Volanair, the legendary healing mace out of Ulduar on my paladin. I've been working
Nice.
on that for a while, and I'm working on my hunter, leveling her up right now because I'm at a good stopping point, especially because I won't be able to raid as much for the next few weeks. So I'm gonna kind of just put my mage in a holding pattern of LFR and gold and all that, and we'll start working up other hundreds. So I'm working on my hunter right now, and she is destroying everything she looks at. It is like I know you probably feel similar, mainly being a healer, but when you play a class that can just solo everything like it's nothing, it's just a whole different ball game. Like on my mage, I have to plan stuff out. And on this, I'm just like, oh look, hey wolf, go after that. I'm gonna shoot it with an arrow. Hey, it's dead. Loot. Oh, there's 16 things coming at me. Okay, blah, dead.
See,
It's
you're
like,
gonna
oh
make me want to
come
play
on.
my hunter for that specific reason. 'Cause, see, I live in the
They're
world.
good.
I live in
They're
that
pretty
world. Like
good.
you're a DPSer. You live in the world where you can basically just blow things up and they die. And I live
Hmm.
in the world where the DPS is my off spec, which I don't know very well. Or on my monk, it's like me flipping to this not the healing stance, the other circumstance I think it is, or whatever it is that you
Yeah,
in Mistweaver spec you get the two stances, which is basically
that
like the
yeah.
DPS stance and the healing stance. And
Okay.
I was like, oh dude, like seriously, I want to be able to go into these old raids that I've been doing and just be able to see everything blow up, like really just blow up. It'd
Yeah.
be so much nicer because I'll go in on Julana and I'll go on my Boomkin spec and I don't know it very well at all, so I'll be like, yeah, I think I've got you killed and I'll kill you, but it's yeah, and Marconin caught me yesterday playing. He goes, "Congratulations on playing the best class in the game." Well, he saw me on like my level 6 mage that I was dinking around on, and I'm like, "Shh,
What do we have here?
do not look at me. I'm not here.
He's like, you don't see me.
Don't see me." So yeah, that I know exactly what you're saying. So I've got a hunter that's like level 85, so maybe I should start playing her some more.
Not too far to go
I
then.
know.
How did we do on Cat on Fire this week?
Well, Cat on Fire decided we were going to gun to get heroic Imperator. We're going to get him down. And there were very many valiant efforts put towards killing him, but alas, we could not do it. So
It was a tough road.
it was.
This-
And, we were doing really, really good. Like, we've got everything else in Heroic on farm and in High Mall. And so we were like, we just want to get that ahead of the curve achievement. That's what we want. We want to do this. And so we had a good, 45 minutes to work on him and just could not pull the trigger because he's a pain in the butt. I mean, it's just that fight is like.
there's a lot going on in
There
that fight.
is. It's like, constant movement. Oh, everybody run from one side of the room to run to the other side of the room. And it's like, stop DPS and don't stand near your friends. And it's like,
Spread, stack, don't stand in that, stand in this.
don't hit the
Don't-
bomb. Don't. Oh, you hit the bomb.
And then I get rezzed into a bomb. I die and then I got rezzed into a bomb
Yep.
and then die and wipe the raid again. And I
Yep.
was just like, I just want to throw my keyboard.
Just take my keyboard and throw it through the screen. There you go. So we didn't make any progress this week, but we got a lot of loot. So
We did.
I call that progress because people are still taking loot and getting upgrades. So we had a couple folks who needed to step out because the game has not taken as much interest for them any longer. So we're bringing in some new blood, including one of your friends.
Yep.
And we're bringing in some other folks as well, and we're gonna have a good time. It'll be fun. So Cat on Fire remains, and will remain to fight every day that we can on a Monday night, Monday evenings, man. So yeah, so that was big.
Go get
part.
him.
That was big part of my week. And so last week we were talking about how I've been trying to get my selfie camera, and I don't know what my obsession is with this damn selfie camera, but I've really just wanted it. I wanted to see how it worked. I wanted to see what it could do.
It's
And
that fear of missing out, isn't it?
it was totally a FOMO moment. I'm like, everybody else is couldn't. So all these great selfies are being tweeted, and I'm sitting there going, but I want to. And then there's all these people who are Warcraft tweets. Send us your selfies. We may post them as a screenshot of the day. And I'm like, I can't.
I want a selfie.
I can't. So I literally started changing up my schedule so I had a couple extra minutes in the morning when I got up. I would cycle my garrison missions. I'd come home, cycle my garrison missions. I'd come back on later, cycle them again, the ones I could. And Friday morning was the day.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It
Throw
has
up your
spawned.
hands. And so it happened. It popped on my night elf on Julana. And which is great because it's my main. I am a little disappointed though at the lack of faces that the night elves do.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of range.
Yeah, I felt that way with the gnome mage, with the male gnomes too. One way to get around that you can kind of mess with it is when you're, what is it? Yeah, do an emote.
Yeah.
Like just type an emote out, and they'll still hold the camera, but they'll do all the motions and the face stuff. But the selfie faces will override the whatever emote faces, but then it goes back to whatever emote faces. And if as long as you just kind of watch for it, and then you take one selfie, but after you take that one selfie, he goes back into the regular selfie mode.
Okay.
So you can kind of cheat your way through it that way.
Yeah.
That's how I get a couple of different like reactions and faces on a couple of my selfies is that I've done like like the /yes/no/dance. The /dance one is probably the best because you get a big wide range of stances and faces. So that's a way to get away to try and mix it
so
up.
you get so I managed to get an awesome duck face shot of her.
Yes, you did.
And she only does that and it's like a passing emote, and I happen to capture it, and I'm like, okay, that's about as great as it can get. So there we go. It's the first one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having it on some of my other characters though, because then it will be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, you'll get that other mission pretty soon. I hope.
Yeah. So I've been continuing just like on my missions, and I'm leveling up my monk on AIE on Earthen Ring slowly but surely. I hit level 71 today, so I just gun through dungeons. That's what I do. And I'll sit there talking to Kane as I'm healing. So that's what I do.
So now you're living in Utgard Keep for a few levels.
God,
Utgard Keep in the Nexus.
I think I've done it 7 times already. Something like that. And every single time I've been in there, it's been a monk tank with a monk healer. Me, the monk healer, and the tank. And the range of ability levels and experience levels between the monk tanks has been very vast. So
oh, yeah.
It's like, this one is super squishy. You must have weird gear. And you don't know how to I don't know. But it's been kind of funny to see the range of abilities for the different tanks. Because usually it's like from 60 to 70, it's all Death Knight tanks. Because that's where the Death Knights start. So...
that's the way it's been for a long time, but I guess if the monks are creeping in too because everybody's just leveling up so fast.
Yeah, it doesn't change. It's the same thing. So that's what we've been up to in World of Warcraft. Let's give you some updates on some things that are going on in the world of Triple T. Number 1, we're almost done with the Triple T Pay It Forward contest. We've now 2 prizes to give away. And the contest is going to end tomorrow, Sunday, the 15th, the end of the day. And it doesn't matter if you have a little or a lot of a Pay It Forward to give to us. It's a random drawing to be able to get entered. And you could win a $25 gift certificate from Jinx that was donated by Chris, a.k.a. Darkside. Or you can win one of the big Funko Pop Deathwing, big ones. Mark Honan is pointing it to it on his camera because he's got it there. It's the oversized one that was donated by Warrior, and he sent that to me. I have it, it's in a box. I've got it. So thank you guys so much for your donations to the show, first of all. And we want to be able to pay it forward to you by you paying it forward to somebody else. Doing it, whatever. Do something nice. Just a little thing. So tell us about it, though, because you can't win unless you tell us about it. And got till tomorrow. That's all you got there. We'll let you guys know who won after tomorrow. Pretty much easy. And if you do tweet about it, please use the hashtag #TTTPayItForward, please. That makes it easier for me to track it. And we also have something for next week. It's going to be pretty exciting. We have a guest next week. A returning guest, one Mark Honan has not met before.
Very true.
Yes, but you are looking forward to meeting him.
Very much so.
Yes, this is
Very
a
much so.
gentleman coming all the way back to episode 49. Sergeant Jim Beverly is going to join us for another episode. Back in episode 49, we talked to him. Jim was stationed in Afghanistan. He was patrolling, and his Humvee was attacked, and a grenade was thrown through the window of his Humvee. And so he told us his story at that time. And we are super excited to talk to him again about a number of different things. He's an avid gamer, WoW player, and someone who is stationed off the United States in Germany. He is overseas, so he will be getting up at 5 a.m. to join us to be on this show. And I hope
The
that
best
you will
part of
enjoy
waking
it.
up.
I know, it's like the best part of waking up. And then he's gonna go to work right after he gets done with our show.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, man. So yeah, we're super excited to have him back. We hope you guys are excited to talk to him again. We've got a lot of things fun planned to talk about on the show. So with that, we're going to talk about this show. We've got a cool discussion topic tonight, and I think we're gonna dig into this one deep. I think this is gonna be. I'm excited by this one. So let's do it right now.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
Thump. So here's the discussion topic of the night, and I will give full disclosure on how this came to me, which is it's a mess of how this actually came to me, but it makes sense, I promise. So I was reading BuzzFeed, because I read a lot of BuzzFeed, I read a lot of Reddit, I read a lot of different things of what's going on the internet, and I was reading this thing on BuzzFeed. And I don't know if you guys have heard about the millionaire matchmaker. Her name is Patty Stanger. She does a show on Bravo TV. And BuzzFeed did this interview thing where they had some of their staffers come in and talk to the millionaire matchmaker. She goes in and she has a business where she matches up millionaire men and women to eligible bachelorettes, depending on what they're looking for. She is a true matchmaker. And so they sat down with her and she was talking to them, and it was the discussions were interesting because it was talking about relationships. But this is how this thing all spun out to me, because she had a conversation with this guy, and he said, she said, well, if people who are interested in you text you right back, if you're interested in somebody and they don't text you back, then they're just not that into you. And I sat there and I said, I was thinking about this in relation to friendships, because it's kind of the same thing. I mean, relationships are different. Mm-hmm. But when you think about people and the behaviors that we have during our friendships, do the actions speak louder than the words that you have in your friendships? And obviously that starts a whole down the road tumbling of thinking about friendships online versus friendships in person. What are the differences? How do you tell if there's a friend that, when you start the friendship, all those things. It was just like, it just like spiraled out of control. So I texted Mark Conan and I said, let's talk about friendships and actions versus words. And he goes, I'm in.
Yeah, that sounded good.
Let's do this. So that was a really long lead up, but it also kind of leads into the whole pen pal program that we've been doing about how people start to introduce to each other, learn about each other. And so I wanted to talk about first, what are the things you notice when you start a friendship with somebody versus when it gets more comfortable? What are the things that you do when you're first starting to become friends with somebody versus like you've been friends with them for, like 6 months, a year, 5 years? So and I think my point of reference right now is a lot of these friendships are online, because that's how that's like the 99 percentile of when I build a friendship, it's coming from online. And that kind of, it kind of floored me. So we'll start with you, because I think you're probably in the same boat as me in terms of how many friendships you're developing and where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's due to the nature of how my life is right now. I don't really have a set place or interests that I can express and go make friends out in the world, unless they're coworkers. And due to the nature of my job, I'm around them all the time, so they're kind of just like coworker friends. But yeah, almost all of the friends that I make or have made in the last several years have been online friends through WoW or podcasting. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's the same thing, and it is interesting, and I've thought about it, and I can see a pattern of whenever I make friends, it's a certain way, and then later on in the friendship, it shifts and it tones itself down a little bit, and and there's, I could be a better friend. I'll own up to that. I think we all could be in a way or another, but it's just one of those things that over time the friendship will change, and sometimes it goes away, but sometimes it just downshifts for a little bit.
Why do you think you need to be a better friend?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I could do more. I think I could do more to be the friend, like, talk to them more, be more observant. I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
But then I also have to kind of think about, well, I'm actually really busy. And
Yes.
that's what gets me 9 times out of 10 is that I'm just busy, and I it's nothing personal, it's just we all have our own lives, and sometimes, work, sleep, food, family, those kind of have to take precedence over, texting or replying to a group me message or retweeting something I thought was funny. And, it's nothing personal. It's just I have a lot of stuff going on. It's nothing personal against you.
That I think is one of the big, and especially when it's a virtual relationship in a way. Like, I mean, can we call it virtual, meaning that, you don't go and hang out at the bar with this person.
Yeah, you
It's
don't see them on a regular basis in the real
right.
world. Yeah.
Your connections are based on text messages and group me and Twitter and things that are electronic in nature is
Hmm.
the connection. Um, I know I feel the same exact way. I feel like I try to be everything to everybody, and sometimes I have these very strong feelings of being nothing to nobody.
Yeah, that kind of you work so hard to be as much of a friend to everybody else, but if you do that, then you're not going to have any time for yourself, and you're not going to be able to devote enough time to anybody.
Yeah,
Jack of all trades, master of none
yeah,
type of a thing.
and it's a struggle because I this is a problem I have is that I want to spend time with there's so many people that I would like to spend time with that I
Hmm.
have a problem with feeling like I don't want to let this person down or feel bad that I spent more time with this person versus this person. And a lot of times I just kind of go, ugh, and then I stop and I just go and do my own thing because it's better than making somebody disappointed that I didn't ask them to go hang out with me to do, oh, I was playing Heroes of the Storm. I didn't invite you to come with me, and it's just like, oh.
Oh, I mean, I'm not that bad. You could at least try to do one game with me, Jules. Not that bad at Heroes in the Storm.
Yeah,
Not
and
good.
I've asked you, and you're like, I can't play Heroes of the Storm. I've only gotten through the demo.
I'm getting a little better now. I bought Jaina, so I'm playing as Jaina,
Yeah.
so I'm a little better.
Yeah, see, and Kane loves Jaina, so. But so what are the things that you find when you're first starting to build up a relationship with somebody that you do more than when you become more comfortable with that person? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think especially at the beginning of the friendship, it's you're on a fact finding mission.
Yeah.
You're doing reconnaissance. You want to know, hey, well, you want to see what else you have in common.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first started to get to know Midnight, we have a scary amount of things in common. Like it is awesome to have a friend that is like you in a lot of ways, like
Yeah.
interests, you know, hobbies, stuff like that. And it's really cool. And so you're on a fact finding mission. What kind of music do you like? What kind of movies do you like? You want to go see a movie? That kind of thing. And you're
Yeah.
just like, what do you know, you're just getting to know the person, just like in any other relationship. You get to know them first, really.
Mm-hmm.
You're digging in, and and that will have a lot more conversations that will be going when you're doing that. And then later on, you know these things about that person, so that part of the conversation doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So that's when it'll taper off. But and that's, the thing with me is that since I am going, and it's something that I've had that happens, it's happened to me for years, is that it's not very often that I initiate a text conversation with people. I don't think to just text somebody out of the blue as much as others seem to, because I'm always thinking about five or six different things, working, sleeping,
Yes.
traveling, or back in college, it was rehearsals and all the time. I would be in rehearsals from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'd be busy running around, and so it was very chaotic, and I didn't have much of a mental note to start texting people. So most of my real world friends will start conversations. It's mostly them texting me first, like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like, "Oh, hey, it's doing great." Like, I'm still your friend, but the friendship is there whether I initiate a text conversation or not.
Yeah.
It's, you don't have to, don't think I'm not your friend just because we haven't talked in a couple days.
Yeah.
I'm still your friend. Trust me. If I wasn't your friend, you would know. I would tell you.
Well, see, and that okay. So there's two things out of those statements that I want to latch onto. So I don't want to forget either of
Sure.
them. The first one is related to if I don't like you, you'll know it. So let's hold on to that one. I
Sure.
want to hold on to that one. The second one is the feeling of, don't you feel like when you start a friendship with somebody, you're kind of looking for a pattern of interaction? And when I say
Hmm.
pattern of interaction, it's more of like, I will always tend to see this person on Tuesday nights at this time. So we tend to kind of look for each other at this particular time. Like, for instance, like Pat Crane and I have been friends for several years. And our pattern is that when we get to, and during the daytime, we're logged into an IRC chat and we talk to each other several times throughout the day. There's never like a set amount of time, but we're always logged in to talk to each other because we'll have questions about this or that, because we're always working on stuff, guild stuff. Now it's going
Hmm.
to be BlizzCon party stuff, or just
There we
talk
go.
about, just shoot the crap, talk about podcast stuff. And
Hmm.
so that's a pattern. And the pattern had to establish itself in the beginning. Like, every day while I'm at work, I'm going to log in and he'll be in there too. And we'll talk and, back and forth. And so it was just kind of like that comfortable thing. And so, but I think a lot of times people are looking to establish that pattern. Like, I can text you at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I know that I could possibly reach you at that time.
Hmm.
Whereas, with your whacked out schedule, 2 o'clock in the afternoon could mean you are dead asleep to the
Yeah.
world on
2
one
o'clock
week.
p.m. for you is 2 o'clock a.m. for me.
Right. And so I think a lot of people are trying, when you deal with that kind of building up a friendship to the early part to where it becomes like stable. I know this person is okay with me and they like me and I could text them and there would be no problem. But I feel like a lot of times a friendship is somewhat similar to like a relationship where you're like, do they like me? Am I,
Yeah.
am I okay? You know, are we good? And it fascinates me because that whole process, those two processes are pretty similar.
Yeah, they are.
So I know that, there's a crossover point for every friendship. And there's just that crossover point to be like fact finding. You and I have tons in common. Cool deal. I'd like to know more about you. I'm going to ask you more questions. And hey, we should hang out online or we should send messages back and forth. But
Hmm.
where does the line cross to become the comfortable point? It's different for everybody.
It is. It's different for everybody in every different relationship.
Mm-hmm. So just another thing to comment on, because I thought it's something that I really process a lot about, the texting thing and the DMing thing and the sending a
Yeah.
message in Skype thing. And so all of that. Now, let's go back to the other part, the first one, which is if I don't like you, you're going to know it. I want to know how you do this. Like, because
Well,
I'm curious.
well, there's not many people that I don't like. I tend to get along with
You
everybody.
do. You're like Switzerland.
I try to be anyway.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of times, and it's depends on the situation. Sometimes it's explosive. Sometimes it's not explosive. Sometimes it's just getting in their face and telling them how it's going to be and how it is, and that I don't like this or like that.
Yeah.
But there's not many friends. I could count on less than one hand the number of friends that I have had that I don't have today.
Yeah.
That I can't just, if I see them, I avoid them, or they avoid me, or they don't want to talk to me. It's very, very rare. Like, even like my old friend Joey, I hadn't seen him in, gosh, years, and he lives in my hometown. When I was visiting Rayanne over the holidays, they were there. They were just randomly there at the restaurant, and I just sat down next to him, because we've been friends since I was in, gosh, like fourth grade. Decades we've been friends. And even though we don't talk all that often, or hardly at all during the year, it's just that understanding of, you're like a brother to me. You're one of the closest friends I've ever had. I can call on you for anything, and you can call on me for anything.
Yeah.
We just know that. And it's words that need not be spoken, because they're true until they're not, until something happens. I don't know, anything will happen
Yeah.
for friends like that. And so it's like that. It's you'll know, because I won't joke. I won't, be friendly, because if I pick on somebody, just like my dad used to say, if I pick on you, it's because I like you, pick
Yeah.
around and joke and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
And so I was thinking about this topic today, and and yesterday, of course, and I was in game yesterday, and there's someone that likes to send me whispers randomly to say hello to me, and they'll remain nameless. Very nice person, but I don't know them very well at all. And so this person so happens to be someone who also does a podcast and keeps asking me if I've listened to their podcast, and I haven't, because I haven't. And
Well,
so I got this whisper. This person asked me if I had listened to their podcast, and I said, no, I'm sorry. And the next response was, can you be on my show tomorrow?
Oh,
And I was like,
that's a little short notice.
yeah. And I just said, I'm sorry, and it was true. I couldn't do it next day. Saturdays during the week, and every Saturday is just busy with family during the day, and then we've got the show at night. But I was trying to find a very polite way to say, I don't just, I just can't, like, and so I'm literally just trying to say, I'm busy, I'm sorry. But this person doesn't seem to get the hint that I haven't listened to the show, so I don't even know what I'm getting into. And
Yeah, you can't. It's that's two strikes against it.
yeah, and the thing
One,
about it,
you're not familiar with it, and then two,
yeah.
it's like, wow, that's short notice.
And so there's these two things, but I find myself saying, just like, I'm trying to be polite without being rude.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And it's very tough. Like, I want to be nice to people who are, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And that is the that's the hard part. And I find it too with people who are friends. When they do something, it's like, it's excruciatingly hard for me to say something to somebody and say, I really don't think we have much in common, or I don't think that we have, it's just, I don't feel comfortable. Like, it's horrible.
Not you, it's me.
It's horrible. Like, it's really hard for me. So I'm extremely impressed with you. Like, if you can say, you'll know if I don't want to be friends with you anymore, unless you piss me off, like, really bad, like, you piss me off, then you're gonna know. I will blast. But I've only done that a handful of times in my life, because I just don't want to hurt people. Like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And so most of the time, and I think a lot of people just kind of do this, and they're just like, we'll just let it go. Like, we'll just go our separate ways and slowly hope that you don't see that I've taken you off my battle tag. And I'm a wuss. I absolutely admit it. I am a wuss when it comes to that, because I hate hurting people's feelings. I hate it.
I do too. I try to go out of my way not to hurt people's feelings. And if I do, then I want them to tell me so I can apologize and fix it, because it's, it takes a lot for me to get mad, to the point at which I would, like I said earlier, if if I don't want to be your friend, you'll know it, you know,
Yeah.
or if I'm mad, you'll know it. But that takes a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 2020 site in the chat room just said, note to self, don't piss Jules off. Yeah. I'm not quick to anger, but when I do get angry, it's not pretty. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not pretty. Arcane can tell you.
it's like a pot of boiling water. It takes a lot to
Because
boil.
I'm a Cancer. When I take a personal affront, it's like a knife to the gut. My astrological sign makes me want to like boil over and stay boiling over. It's hard to get me to stop once you push me that way. So it's pretty funny. So but it's hard to get me there to that point. But so even to someone who is pretty much a stranger, I just don't want to hurt someone's feelings. And so and I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people just don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or they don't want to deal with the confrontation. And so they just kind of let the friendship just drift apart.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is just, because you don't want to have it out.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of let it fizzle its own way out just by, not talking or not texting or not rating with them or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And it's just, and I think about all of the, when you're in a situation like we are, where you've been in the game for 7, 8, 9 years. And the other day, yesterday, Kalani from our raid team tweeted a picture of, it was me and Arcane and Trelant, and we were all in a Karazhan. It was when we were doing
I
Karazhan.
saw that.
And it was a picture, it was a screenshot that he had of this, and he's shown me this one before, but it brought back all these memories. But I find now, and maybe it's just because I'm getting old, is I don't really remember half of the people that were on that team anymore.
Yeah.
And
that's happened with me with old screenshots from Wrath.
Yeah, and you're like, oh gosh, I barely even remember that guild or those people. And so I guess it's a testament for it to Arcane talking about Dwagon. That was the poll. It was the big celestial dragon in Karazhan, and Trelant would always go Dwagon and pull the boss. So that's how it was. Anyway, distraction.
He's gonna have to do that if there's a dragon box in the next tier.
Oh, I love Dwagon. So it's one of my favorite things in the world.
Almost like marriage.
Marriage. It's totally
Dwagon.
true.
Wagons are what bring us together today.
See, Arcane remembers better than I do. He's listing all the people who are on that screenshot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of remember those people. So,
yeah.
But that's the point, is that people are going to drift in and out of your lives. It's just a matter of, like, I guess more about what it is, like, does the cycle have to repeat itself over and over again? Are you constantly looking for new friends? If so, why? What's happening there? Why is that the case? But I do think when you talk about virtual friendships, we have a whole different set of rules now.
Yeah.
Because you've got text chat, which is a whole different ball game in terms of trying to translate tone.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was thinking, there's a Key and Peele skit show on Comedy Central where where they discuss this issue, or they show it in a comedy skit where one of them's just kind of relaxed, like, all right, dude, stop, whatever, we can do it. And he's like, oh, whatever, you can do whatever, and he gets really mad and is like gonna go beat the crap out of the other guy. And it's very, I'll find that and show that to you after the show, because it is it's true. You can't tell tone in a text at all.
No. And
you can make some inferences.
Yeah, when you're first meeting someone too, that's even harder. So so what are the signs that we can talk about when someone may not be as close of a friend anymore as it was as they were previously? I think one of them is just maybe just you started doing other things with other people and you haven't really missed that person.
Yeah, that could be something about it.
I find sometimes that I see names pop up on my battle tag list and I'm like, oh, I wonder where that person has been. I didn't even remember that they were gone. And so it's just, you talked or you used to raid together or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like,
There's
oh,
there's
yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple that since I've been friends with them, they've gotten married and they've had a child, and they still, like, the husband plays StarCraft all the time, and the wife gets on WoW, and I haven't talked to them in months. I haven't talked to them since their kid was born, but I probably should. Every time I see their names on, I'm like, oh man, I should really talk to them.
Yeah.
But it's just, but I'm raiding, or I'm doing another garrison thing, or and it's just, you
Or
know,
you don't know what to say
or you
anymore.
don't know what to say. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because I think that's a big indicator of like, what do I even say to you right now? Like, hey man, how's the kid? And then but do you really
Yeah.
care? Do you want to know? And how's married life? These are all things that are like, people when they shift away or change that's like, what can you talk about? What do you have in common now?
Yeah.
I hate that is something I absolutely hate is
Yeah.
the forced small talk like, hey, how's it
So,
going? Good. How
how's
you doing?
life?
How's life? Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this just goes for how this is just from my own personal experiences. Sometimes I won't be able to, and this goes for like online friends or even real life friends, like if I have them on Facebook as well, is that I won't talk to them for a while, but then I'll think about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like something will jog my memory about them, and they'll be on my mind. So I'll send them, like, this happened with a friend on Twitter not too long ago, and I sent her a message and I was like, hey, I know we haven't talked lately and you've been really busy with everything, but I just want to say hi and I've been thinking about you. So how are things these days? Just, trying to catch up, just so, hey, I haven't forgotten about you,
That's
type of a
nice.
thing. Just to, because, like I said, I don't want people to think I'm mad at them or anything for not talking. It's just, life is busy.
Yeah.
Life is very busy. And sometimes, you can't reply to your text or to your tweet right off the bat, even though the phone's right there next to you. You're like, I have to concentrate on other stuff right now. I have other stuff that I have to take care of. And it's, like I said, nothing personal. It's just
Yeah.
got stuff to do.
Yeah. So, friendships they're great and they're hard.
They are.
It's a constant amount of work to be able to maintain them. If things in your lives change, that you drift away and your common interests have changed, it's hard to maintain that. And then you can have the friends like you do, where you could be gone for years but see each other and not a day has gone by.
Hmm.
I have a friend from college that we were like two peas in a pod. And I don't know if I don't probably haven't spoken to her now in 10 years. I see her on Facebook and she puts lots of pictures up about her kids and, we're just in two different worlds now.
Yeah.
And, but I bet if we were set to sit down and cross from each other, we would be, cracking each other up just like we did when we were 18.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's just something to think about. There's no right or wrong answer to this discussion topic. It's more about just
Yeah.
kind of talking about it and making people's wheels spin a little bit about your friendships, the things that you do in your day to day. And if there is somebody that you've lost touch with and maybe thought about saying hi to, like Marconan did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing. I mean, it's different with the way technology is nowadays. Friendships are a lot different. Your best friends don't live down the street or in the same city. You can't go play golf on the weekends with them or anything.
nope.
You have to travel to California and be with 23,000 other people
You
with
have to
them.
wait till November to see him at
Yeah,
Blue
you have to
Sky.
wait till November or July, and just and it's different. And so, we just have to kind of, let our preconceptions and our ideas of what exactly constitutes a good friendship, they
Mhm.
either have to change, or we have to meet in the middle somehow, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's a different world now, especially with online friendships.
Yeah. the good thing about, because like yours and my relationship, since we talk to each other every week, or talk to each other, we talk like this every week. We see, we text each other nearly daily. So when I do see you, it doesn't feel any different. It's just like we're just picking up where we are, and then we go back to our respective places and we reminisce about all the fun stuff we did, but it's not like anything has changed. And that's what I absolutely love, because we have video chat and we have the ability to text and talk, and I don't know, like, just living away from my family like I do. My parents and I Skype once a week, and I don't know what I would do without something like that, the opportunity to do that. And I told them about it. I'm like, hey guys, you could get something like Skype. And they're like, what's that? And when I told them about it several years ago, I said, no, you can see me. And they're like, I can see you? Yes, you have a webcam on your laptop. You can see me. Look, and here I am. And they thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. It's awesome.
How long did it take you to show them, from when they first got Skype for you to show them your cats? Like, here's, the cats, and like have the cats in front of the camera.
Oh, usually the cats, because I'd be like on my iPad downstairs, and so the cats would see Mom is
They're
sitting at
all-
the kitchen table. They're jumping up on my lap. Like, I was on there the other day, and there's Garrett's his butt going past the camera half the time, and they're like, "Oh, that must be Garrett." They haven't even met Garrett yet, but because we got him before
But they've seen his butt.
Yeah, they've seen his butt plenty of times. So. But they know the other cats really well, so it's just like, oh, hey, there's the kids. So
Yep.
So that is our discussion tonight about friendships. If you guys have your comments and thoughts about online friendships, in-person friendships, estranged friendships, friendship building, friendships disintegrating, all that stuff, we'd love to hear about it. Send over your feedback to questions@taurentthinktank.com. That's where we are. That's how you can find us. All those great places to go. So, Mark Honan, talking about... Go ahead.
You're talking about good friends and friendships. We've got some friends over there at Doghouse Systems that we like them because they make really good products, really good laptops and desktops. They're gamers. They make gaming products for gamers. Isn't that right, Jules?
Yeah, you said it all. What more do I have to say? Doghouse is amazing. If you happen to be hanging out at South by Southwest this weekend, or you're planning to go there tomorrow, they're out there right now showing off the brand new systems they've got, and there's some new stuff coming. We're going to be talking about it very soon, as soon as the information is finalized. Super excited to show you what they've got going on. Doghouse Systems, made for gamers, by gamers, and they give you some of the best service that's out there. I can't say more about it, except go get one if you're thinking about getting a brand new gaming system.
It's a good investment.
Why not? Because I mean, yes, gaming PCs are expensive, but when you think about the investment and the time that you spend gaming, and the amount of days and time and your weekends and your weeknights that you spend gaming, you want something that's going to last, and you want something that's going to be reliable, and that is a Doghouse system. So there you go. Check them out. Going to doghousesystems.com and entering the code TT gives you double the memory on your brand new gaming system. That's pretty awesome.
That is a good deal. It's a very good deal.
Check them out. We like them. We love them. They support us, and you support them. That's all there is to it. doghousesystems.com. I'm singing all my stuff today. I don't know why.
Singing Saturday.
It's the Singing Saturday, it is. All right, it is time to nail down some think tank fun and goodness.
Torn between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
It's the think tank time. It's the time of the show where you send in your questions to us and we discuss them for you. And we've got one a little bit long, so bear with me as I kind of get all the background. I did cut this back some, but I got to get all the pertinent information so you guys know what we're talking about. Dear Triple T, it's crazy how time flies, isn't it? I met my now girlfriend 3 years ago while she was streaming on Twitch playing WoW. I started playing with her and hanging out with her, and we will be celebrating our 1-year dating anniversary this month. My letter is a bit longer than your because of WoW, but it's because along with my wonderful life with her and my happiness, I also have some anxiety that I wish to get outside advice on. My girlfriend and I only live together on the weekends. Right now, I'm still working full-time a couple of hours from her, so I don't get to see her during the work week save for Skype calls. We have talked about moving in together very soon, and it would mean that I quit my job of 10 years and move to another town to be with her. I'm afraid of taking this next step and moving in with her. I'm afraid of quitting my job, even though I already have a job lined up for me that pays just a bit less than what I make now. However, it's not the employment issues that are really bothering me, as I have had to switch jobs in the past, and I know that that is a fear I am courageous enough to face. The fear I bring to you in this letter is much harder for me to feel brave against. You see, my girlfriend has a terminal illness and requires full-time care. She is a delight in my life, and I know how to care for her, and I'm willing to take it on. I feel like it's a privilege to be able to help her. What scares me is that her life could end at any moment, and it scares me to think of moving in with her, changing my life totally, and then having her die and be without her in this new life of mine. I am terrified of that. I keep telling myself that none of us are promised tomorrow, that at any moment, even the healthiest person could drop dead of an aneurysm, and that loving someone is always a risk that is worth it. I tell myself to live in the now and appreciate the precious time together we have been given. But telling myself that is proving little comfort. I have told her I am afraid of our future, but I try not to dwell on it because I don't ever want her to feel like being in my life adds any burden. If she is a burden at all, it's a beautiful burden I gladly take to be in a relationship with her. I feel guilty of being so afraid, and I feel like if I were a better person, I would be able to be braver so that it doesn't keep me up at night worrying. I fell for my girlfriend love at first sight, and it hasn't been an easy 3 years, but every second has been worth it. As cheesy as it sounds, she doesn't only complete me, she makes me better every day. I just have so much fear about what comes next and about what happens if the worst happens and she is suddenly gone from my life. Any advice would be warmly appreciated. Thank you for Triple T. Yours truly, Dizzy Dazed. Okay.
That's a pretty heavy letter.
This is very, very heavy, but I think it's one that we haven't taken on before, but I think it's a good one to take on. Gosh, I mean, I think that now Dizzy is female as far as I understand. So it is, so her girlfriend is the one who lives far away from her. She's going to make the move. She's going to make the change in there. So Dizzy is female. So what are your thoughts initially after me reading this letter?
Well, it was, my first thought was that it's, where was it in the letter talking about being brave? You are a better saying you're guilty and being afraid and feel like if I was a better person, I would be able to be braver. I don't think, I think you are, there's no better person part about it. You're taking in all the different variables in the situation. That's just you being cautious and thinking things through. Sometimes taking a leap without looking is not the best idea. And recognizing that there are things that you've got valid concerns.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your spot where you're at. You've got a good job from what we're gathering, and you're settled. You've got your world is right there, as far as just you by yourself, and you're worried about uprooting all of that for a finite amount of time with somebody.
Yeah.
And that's a valid concern. That honestly, I think you'd be wrong for not having at least that sort of concern. For just diving in willy-nilly, I think that would be irresponsible. And so that was the first thing that leaped out at me, is that it's, you're doing the right thing by thinking this thing through before you decide one way or another.
Yeah. I mean, the only big, the thing that is very, she is living in a situation where she knows that that her girlfriend has a terminal illness, which means that at any given point she could be gone. And that she is probably going to be looking at a future of heavy caretaking, possibly for long term, which could be very painful, stressful, and difficult. And so it's a tremendous responsibility to take on and to know that that's what you're going to get into. Most of us who enter in relationships, we take that risk, but we don't know if it ever comes to pass.
Exactly. You don't assume that when you start dating somebody or you get married to somebody that they're going to be in a car accident and become a quadriplegic a week later.
Right.
And then what? It's we don't we it's something we don't think about until it happens.
Right. And that is the thing that, so we kind of live in that world of, well, it could happen. Most likely it probably wouldn't, but you just never know.
Hmm.
And Dizzy is living in a world where she knows.
Yeah.
She
She gets that
knows.
up front.
Yeah, this is part of the package. This is the package. But there is no doubt in my mind that she loves her girlfriend, because anybody who loves someone else is willing to give all of that up for the chance to be with someone. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
Yeah. There's I read some article, the top 5 things that people on their deathbeds are regretful about, and it's never, and it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Time with family, time with loved ones. That's the thing you only get a certain amount of in this world. You know,
Yeah.
that's, you're not going to regret, you're not going to regret the days those days you could have gone to work, but instead you did something else. You're going to regret the days you could have been with your loved ones, but you
Yeah.
chose not to.
Yeah. And that is, there's what Mark Honan said was absolutely true, is that it would be more worrisome if you weren't concerned and have fear than
Mhm.
if you just flew in there and said, I got this. There is no problem. I'm all good. Don't worry. I got this. Because you know that there is going to be challenges and you know what you're going to be up against. But I think we both agree that if this is something that you want to do, life is full of changes. Life is
Mhm.
full of challenges. And if you have taken and faced that fear of going ahead and changing your job in the past, and you know that you can conquer that, you know that you've got something lined up, and if that's the only thing that you're worried about, if your girlfriend were gone tomorrow, you would be going on. You would be moving forward. And that is the most important thing, is that you know that you can, but you're going to deal with the grief of it. Now, there's something here that is hard for me because, you all know I'm a crazy cat lady. Cats are very important to me in my life. And my first cat, the very first one that I ever had of my own, was Diamond. And she got old and, started to get frail and that kind of thing. And I have a very tough time dealing with loss. I have a very difficult time with it, especially because I have dealt with, the only losses that I have dealt with in my life have been immediate, unexpected, unplanned, immediate death. That is the only thing that I have dealt with in my life as a child. I had many family members die early, young, not expected, boom, and they're gone. So I had never really dealt with the fact that I was going to lose something that I loved very, very much. And the way that I chose to handle it, which I regret now, is that I started to push her away because I didn't want to have to deal with the pain of losing her. And
Yeah.
that is horrible. And I've, at the end, I let her come back to me, and I was there when we decided to put her down because she was so sick. But
Yeah.
I know that these are things that everyone deals with their grief differently, and I have regrets on how I've dealt with that in the past. I don't know if I could do this very easily. I don't know if I could do what Dizzy is planning to do with her life. And that scares me,
Mhm.
I mean, if I were faced with it, if Arcane were in a position where I knew that it was time for him to be gone, and it was a lot sooner than, when we're 95 in the nursing home, then then there's going to be things to handle on that. But if you love somebody and you want to be with them, that is what you need to decide upon. And I don't want to see her go and say, I'm going to push her away because I don't want to deal with the pain like I did. I'm
Yeah.
talking about a cat versus a life partner, which is different, but love is love. When you
Yeah.
care for something and you love something deeply, it's the same.
Yeah, that's like when we lost Tinkerbell last year at my mom's house. I made it a point to come visit her more because
Hmm.
I knew I only had so much more time with her, and thankfully I was able to be there when we let her go.
Yeah.
I was there petting her head, and
It's devastating. It is
it is.
absolutely devastating. And I mean, somebody talked about their cat being put down this week on Twitter, and I literally lost it. It was like, because that all those memories came back, and I know that pain. But the only way that I know how to deal with that pain is to take it and put it in a box and shove it to the side, and just
Hmm.
box it up and put it away and just say don't deal with this. And so I think that Dizzy has a tremendous amount of strength to think about it being in a situation where you love somebody and you want to be with them and take care of them and take on the responsibility of helping them. And because that's completely selfish and selfless, and that is what love is about.
Hmm.
It's what it's about. So
Yeah.
it's horrible to think about that, that you're going to commit to a life, but that's going to, she's going to commit to a life that she knows is going to have a finite end before she's ready to have it end. Instead of it being like, okay, now it's time and we're 95 in the nursing home, it's going to be sometime sooner than that, a lot sooner than that. So what do? You make absolutely the best of everything you can.
Hmm.
You do. You just do everything you can to make sure that every moment is, cherished and having fun and doing the things that you love and eating all the bad foods you want to eat because you can. And, I just,
Every day is pie day.
every day is my. But it's heartbreaking to think about this whole situation. I give you so much credit for being that strong, because you may not think you're being strong, but you are.
Hmm.
I can't say enough about it. It's fantastically um it just I can't say enough about it. I don't know if I would have that strength. I would hope that I would, but I hope I would never have to be in that position.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. So, um, when she talks about, I have so much fear about what comes next and what happens if the worst happens and she is suddenly gone from my life. Um, don't do what I did, which is when I knew that the time was becoming shorter, with the cat that I've loved for 17 years, that I just basically just I started wishing that she was gone already, so I didn't have to keep waiting. And don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
wish your life away. Don't wish that you could just have the pain. I'm an impatient person. I like to have things to be closed and done and taken care of. If there's a loose end, I want to tie it. It's not something, it's hard for me. So if I know something's inevitable, I just want, okay, get me through this pain so I can get past it. That's how I work. That's how my brain works. And it sucks. I hate that. So don't do that. Don't fall into that trap, because it's not, you're living for the future. You're not living for now. And I think that in this case, you have to live for now. You have to take in every moment as it's happening right at that moment. And,
Hmm.
and to take a snapshot in your brain and say, this is a really cool memory for me to be able to put in my mental
Yeah.
scrapbook.
And getting the most out of the time with them and actually taking real pictures too,
Yeah.
so that you can have those pictures not only in your mind but in your hand
Yeah.
as well, so that you won't forget, you won't lose a detail.
Yeah.
Though that will help you cement those long-term memories in your brain.
And there's the other side of it, which is not to act as though every day is a dying day. So
Mhm.
that you're like, we need to make sure that we take a picture of this so we don't forget about it because tomorrow may not be here. That is a mentally tough thing. And I do think that if you are together and, which I hope that you would be, that maybe you do get some counseling, some support, some professional help, because there is going to
Yeah.
be a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in your brains that are going to have to require processing. Things that a normal, everyday couple who's not facing this will never think about. I don't go through my days thinking that today is my last day.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any reference to that. It could be, but I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't ever want to think that way because it's just going to be living, in fear of what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. Today can't be my last day either. I have too many garrison missions still going. I mean, who's going to attend to my followers?
I know. And so, yeah, who's gonna make sure my garrison selfies are taken?
I know. You just got the camera.
I know. It can't be my last day.
Uh,
But you know what? It's just a matter of, we exist when we have those moments where we've lost something or someone, and you have that recognition of mortality. This is why we don't live the day to day like this is my last day. That whole song about, like, if today was your last day, what would you do? And I don't want to ever live like that. I would hate that, because it would literally mean that I would be disappointed if I didn't do something that I had put myself to and say, okay, if today was my last day, I would make sure I do this and this and this and this, or it's not a good enough last day. That would suck. I don't want to live like that.
Yeah, you can't do that. That would be really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard on you and on others as well.
And so I'm hopeful that if you guys do get together, that you have some support, some professional support in that way, to help you through this mental battle. Because, and the other big part of it is that you two need to be in communication a lot about how you're feeling, what you're thinking, where your brain's at. Because there's going to be those moments where you're just going to your brain is going to start going in a place where you may not want to go. And your partner needs to hear about that. You need to be honest and talk about how you're feeling, because they're going to pick up on it. They're going to pick up on the weirdness. It's just going to be, the communication's going to be a big deal here. Very big deal. So that you don't make her feel like she's, she may feel badly that you are giving up things for her. You are feeling badly that she is not able to do the things she wants to do. These are all things you got to talk about, all of it, so that you are keeping a strong and healthy relationship, and, talking about your fears, talking about the things you want to do, things that you're excited about, all that. Got to talk about it. If you don't, it's not going to work. So.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in her situation, especially because you do have, like, if that other job is lined up,
Yeah.
if I was in this position, I'd say go for it. And that takes
too.
a lot for me to do, because I don't like change. I hate change. Like, I don't like changing jobs, because there's that uncertainty, and I feel like the rug's been pulled out from under me. There's nothing underneath it but empty space, and I feel like I'm in free fall if stuff changes. So, but sometimes you just gotta go through with it.
But if you were in a position where you love someone more than anything in the world, then that maybe just doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Even though,
I mean,
then it becomes an adventure to see where the future holds. And
because like she had said she'd switched jobs before, I think, and that she's not new to change. So, this, as far as the change, that's old hat.
Yep.
So, I mean, you could always get another job. If you did such a good job at your previous job, the one you're at now, maybe you could even go back if, the worst happens. But, we don't regret the things, we regret more of the things we never did than the things we did.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so
you don't want to sit back and when she's gone and say, I wish that I had taken the time.
Yeah, because that will eat you alive.
Yeah.
That will eat you alive.
Absolutely. So I think we both agree. We think you should go for it. The chat room overwhelmingly thinks you should go for it. And to go and love together, and until the time isn't that you can't do it anymore. Yeah. So
you love enough for a lifetime in the time that you've got left.
Absolutely.
Make it just really concentrate it.
Yeah. Just, There's nothing more to say than that. So, but we definitely would love to hear how things shake out and what your decision is. And I think
Absolutely.
you've already made it. You just needed somebody to tell you it would be okay.
Just
So,
needed a kick in the pants.
yes. Tauren think kick in the pants.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for your own kick in the pants and you want to send us an email, we'll kick you in the pants for free.
Hoof to the pants.
Hoof to the pants, man. You can do so at questions@torrenthinktank.com. That's our email address. That's where you can find us. And we love getting your emails and the opportunity to talk about what's going on in your lives. So please send them on over for the Think Tank, and we'll hit them up on the show. And with that, time to hit up our Tell Us One Thing. Timing is everything. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
It is time for Tell Us One Thing, which you guys send us your fun and funny questions, and we answer them. And Mark Cronin will start us off with number 1.
The first one today is from Sir Gallo.
Sir Gallo.
What is your most irrational fear?
Oh, boy. What is my most irrational fear? I had this. I thought about this the other day when I was putting in the show notes, and I forgot. Crap. What is yours? I can't remember.
Oh,
what mine
goodness.
was. I had something, and I was like, well, what's my most irrational fear?
Most irrational fear? I would say, well, one of them is like bugs, like
Yes.
spiders.
I hate
Like
spiders, too.
anything with 8 legs or stingers. Like
Well, there's a reason to be afraid of a stinger.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just bugs. Like a ladybug was crawling across my desk yesterday.
Yeah.
And I just like put a piece of paper under it and took it outside. I was like, a ladybug, that's fine. What, a spider? I just can't do it. Can't deal with it. Gross.
Oh man, I am completely blanking, and I had a good one and I can't think of it. I know that it was like something really dumb. Okay, here's one that I can tell you. I've gotten better at it, but I still have this fear. It still happens to me. I have an irrational fear of making left turns with no traffic light. So like, if you have to make a left turn out into traffic, and so if you're like at so on a major road, you got to make a left turn. So you got to cross 2 lanes of traffic to get into it without a traffic light to stop traffic. I have a fear of that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of variables in people not paying attention. I would say that's pretty rational right there.
So I will actively avoid left turns. I will actually look for ways that I can make a right turn on a road so I don't have to cross 2 lanes of traffic to get into the left turn.
I do have one that's like, if I'm walking somewhere and it's dark, like, and I'm very close to like the car or the door, I will like rush to it because I don't know, it's like being afraid of the dark. It's just like, I don't know what's out there, and I just get a creepy feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
Like prickle on the back of your neck, and I'm like, I just need to get inside where it's light, or I'll turn on my phone and I'll shine it over there, make sure nothing's over there. And
oh, I just remember what mine was.
Oh, what was it?
Okay, I just remembered. This one is completely irrational. You ready?
Okay.
Babies. I have an irrational fear of babies. I do not like to hold an infant ever. And so here's the thing. Like, people come into the office, or like you're working and they just had a baby, and everyone's like, oh, you want to hold the baby? And I'm like, no.
I'm good, thank you. Oh, it's so pretty from way over there.
Don't give me the baby. I'm afraid they're going to puke on me, they're going to poop on me, or that the parent is going to tell me that I'm holding the baby wrong. I have a fear of babies.
That's how my nephew greeted me. His first time I met him on this planet was by peeing on me. So that was wonderful. I was like, love you too, Chief.
I knew it would come to me, and I'm like, so this is an irrational fear. And I feel like the biggest asshole. Like, when people come in and they're like, you want to hold the baby? No. And then you try to explain it's not you, it's me. I just hate babies.
It's not your baby I hate. It's all babies.
But it's
I
like
only
a
hate your
personal
baby a little bit.
offense when people are like, "Oh, the baby, he's a baby," and it's like, no, get the
That's
baby
okay.
away.
My college band director is the exact same way. He's like, I don't know, because he didn't have kids. He's got like 3 Labradors. He's got big dogs. He's like, I no thanks. I don't want to hold your baby. So he's the same way. So
Oh, I know. That's my irrational fear is babies. I'm like, I know I had a good one. What was it? Oh, there it is.
yeah, babies.
The next one is from Sparrowhawk 1. One movie, one book, one song, and one meal that you will never forget. Go. That's a lot.
Okay.
Okay, movie.
One movie, The Matrix.
Okay.
Seeing it in theaters. I saw it with my dad and my sister. My sister got sick at the idea of when Neo woke up and he had to pull the thing out of
his back of his head.
feeding tube. Yeah, she kind of gagged, and my dad had to take her out. And I don't know if he even got to see the rest of the movie. But that, for me, that's a movie I will never forget.
Okay.
I even remember the theater. I remember where I was sitting, everything.
Wow. Okay.
Because that made that much of an impact. And a book, gosh, I'm trying to think. I mean, Ready Player One is a really strong contender.
Yeah, it's an excellent book.
Because I did, it was the audiobook form. As far as a book, I'll go ahead and say The Martian by I think
Okay.
Andy Weir. It's being made into a movie this year. Yeah, and it's really good book. I recommend it.
Nice.
A song, Real Big Fish's "Sellout." It was the very first time I'd heard a ska song, and I heard it on MTV at my dad's house, the first annual MTV Sports and Music Awards. They were playing live, and it was the first time that it was the first time growing up that I ever thought that like trumpets and trombones could be in a rock band. You know, never mind that my dad listened to Chicago with me growing up, and I didn't. It was the first time it clicked, and I was like, "Oh wow, that is so awesome!" So that's the song, and a meal. Oh goodness, there's a few of them. When I was in Houston 3 years ago for work, my wife flew down, and on the weekend we ate at the rotating restaurant that's on top of a hotel downtown.
Yes.
And that was like a $200 and something meal because we went all out. That was just like, we don't care. We want the wine, the appetizers, the dessert, the everything. And it was good.
Yes.
It was great food. It was a great experience. So yeah, I'll never forget that one.
Nice.
What about you?
Okay.
I went to explanations to give you plenty of time.
I'm going to stream of consciousness this because I think
Okay.
it's just better to do it that way. So these have
Sure.
it's just going to pull out of my brain. So movie that I'll never forget, Space Camp.
Oh, I love that movie.
Remember Space Camp?
I love that movie. Oh gosh, I love that movie.
That was like the time when I was totally into the whole space program. I wanted to be an astronaut.
Man, me too.
Totally was into it. And then I realized I had to do math, and I said, screw it.
Oh
So-
man, love Space Camp.
Space
Oh,
Camp was the best. So Space Camp.
Yes.
Book. She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. This is probably the first book that I have ever read. It's like one of those Oprah's book club books. The first book that I had ever read that's just could not get out of my brain. The protagonist in that is a messed up girl, and she goes through everything: huge amounts of weight gain, huge amounts of weight loss, sexual harassment and molestation, relationship problems. It is intense, and like I couldn't get out of my brain. So I've read that book like 7 times. It's awesome. And it's really, really,
Nice.
really, it's very deep, but one of those things I just can't get out of my brain. Song. Let's see. Phil Collins, Susudio.
Oh, I love that one.
And that's a memory I have. My dad had the cassette tape for that album, and he would always play it in the car all the time. And so that's how I got to love Phil Collins, was because of that cassette tape that he played. And I got it because he passed it down to me, and then I would play it all the time. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Susudio is one of those things.
I love that song.
Yeah, so there you
Such
go.
a good horn line in that song too. Oh, so good. Now it's stuck in my head.
I know. And then meal. Um, one of the most amazing meals that I ever had was from work, of all things.
Hmm.
So I work for two people who are from France. And so they took us, when we were in Vegas for one of our trade shows, they took us to the Paris Hotel and the big restaurant that's in there, which is in the Eiffel Tower. And it was a 7-course meal with wine pairings at every and it was just like you're getting all this. And I ate everything. I ate foie gras, I ate caviar, I ate all this stuff, and
Oh,
things I had never had in my life, and it was amazing and awesome. And I was so drunk by the time we were done because we had a wine pairing with every course.
you could speak French by the end of the meal.
I don't know what I was talking about. And the next day we had to go back to work. I was
Oh,
so hungover.
wearing sunglasses the whole
I was
day.
in the boot. I was in our suite in there, and they're
Uh,
like Alka Seltzer. Like, Jules, you can do this. I'm like, I'm so hungover. So there you go. There's our book, movie, song, and meal.
yeah. I had foie gras once before, but it was a tiny little piece.
Yeah.
I don't remember the taste of it much.
The wine
Oh,
helped me to eat it because I knew what it was, and I didn't
yeah.
want to necessarily eat it. But the wine was like, oh yeah, let's eat this goose liver.
I kind of put that thought what it was over here out of the way,
Yeah,
and then I ate it, and then I
yeah,
brought it back in afterwards, and I was like, okay,
that was really tasty.
okay, I got you, I got you.
The chat
Okay,
room
the
is putting
next
theirs
one.
in there. These are all
Oh yeah,
good. These
yeah.
are
There's some
all
really
good.
good ones. I remember Joe's apartment.
Oh
I remember
God,
the
Joe's
ending.
apartment.
I remember the ending song when it's like the cockroach spiritual. Hold my feeler, Lord, Lord, hold me.
Wow.
Oh man.
All right, next one.
Next one is from Draven Dresden. What are your BlizzCon in all caps announcement predictions?
Okay.
What we're going to
Um,
learn this year?
there is going to be a new WoW expansion announcement. There's got to be at
Hmm.
this point because they're going to be starting to work on the new expansion. We'll get that. We will get so by that point, Overwatch will have its beta.
Yeah,
Probably in. It's probably in by then if it's because they said fall.
yeah,
So we'd have Overwatch. We get hands on to some of the new changes for the WoW expansion because they got to give us something hands on.
yeah. They'll do like a opening experience like they did 2 years ago with Warlords,
Yeah.
where you could do like the first couple missions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we get an Overwatch, and Dash Animator said it in the chat room. We'll get an Overwatch release date. That's my
Hmm.
prediction.
Yeah, I think they're going to have hands on with the next StarCraft 2 expansion.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, the Void, Temple of the Void, something of the Void,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be there. Which I'm a big fan of the Protoss race. They're my favorite of the three, so
Okay.
I'm like all about some Protoss. I think we're also going to get the next Hearthstone expansion announcement because we do have BlackRock Foundry or BlackRock Mountain coming
Yes.
out
Yes.
like in the next month or two.
I know. That's
Which
crazy.
I can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be fun. And oh yeah, 2020 nailed it. A Warcraft movie trailer. I'm pretty sure by then we're gonna already have a couple trailers out because that's gonna be only what 4 months before the movie comes out.
Yeah, because it'll
So I think
be April. April? No, March.
March.
It's in
It's
March.
March.
So,
March of next year.
yep.
Yeah. So there. I think as far as the Warcraft movie, we won't get. They won't be like revealing the trailer to us, but they may give us like an extended trailer, or maybe a part of the floor will have an exhibit with more of the artifacts
Hmm.
from the movie sets and
Yeah.
stuff like that, like we did last year.
I love the fact that they had some of the
Oh,
actors come, so hopefully they would do that again.
oh man, that was so cool.
Bring
Oh,
Travis Fimmel. Oh my God, bring Travis Fimmel. He's awesome. I love him.
yeah.
Please.
So yeah, I think that's gonna. It's. I think that yeah. Wow. Of course, WoW expansion as well, like you said. So I agree with everything you said, but also, I think they're gonna have a nice chunk of something for each game. I think maybe Heroes of the Storm release date, like an
Mhm.
official release date for Heroes of the Storm, if we don't have it before then,
Right.
because it's been in technical alpha and beta for a while,
Hmm.
and they're still tweaking it. So if they don't have a release date by BlizzCon, we'll get it there.
Yes. I like it.
So either way, it's gonna be a nice meaty BlizzCon with a lot of info,
Yes.
a lot of things to
Um,
just scream our heads at.
And if there are any questions, by the way, there will be a Signals Media party. We are going to work on
Woo!
that. So there will be a party. We'll make sure that party. Pat and I need to talk about that this week. So from Felix, wow, what you're in the Matrix, blue pill or red pill?
I didn't even see that question until after I'd already said The Matrix was my movie.
I know. So remind me, the red pill is you're out of the Matrix, and blue pill you're stay.
Yeah, the red pill. Take the blue pill, you stay in Wonderland.
Yes.
And you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
That's right. Okay.
So you wake up in the real world with the red pill. So yeah, I would. It's a tough choice because ignorance is bliss, as Cypher said in the movie. But my curiosity, I think, would override because Neo's life in the real world wasn't that great. He was just a dude in a cubicle, didn't have much of a life.
Yeah,
helped his landlady empty the trash, but you could even though the real world was not as luxurious, I think I would want to know what the real world was. I would want to get the wool pulled out from in front of my eyes.
See, I know everybody thinks about this when they see The Matrix is what would be your choice. And
it's a tough one.
It is. And I feel like a puss by saying that I would take the blue pill because I would just want to go back to I would go back to my existence and not have to worry about trying to fix it. Neo had that, there would be no movie if Neo took the blue pill. But
shortest Matrix movie ever.
It would be. But, it's like I don't know. I mean, we could be living in it right now and I'd go back to this. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was like this, it'd be hard not to want to keep the life going that you've got because you don't know any better. You don't know.
I know. You don't know what you don't know. So my husband just cracked up the chat room by saying, if you take the blue pill and your Matrix lasts for more than 4 hours, please contact your physician. Well played, honey.
May cause dizziness.
May cause dizziness.
Loss of vision.
Vomiting.
May cause bullet time.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah. We've got one from Mementh. This one says, you have been infected with a virus that will change you. Gender or animals look possible along with powers and abilities. What do you look like now? What gender are you? And what can you do powers wise? So it's kind of like Marvel's Inhumans where you get all of this. You can be, whatever. Sky's the limit. He's opening it up. Gender, anthropomorphic. You can get superpowers. What would you do?
This is hard because this is basically allowing me to be a druid in real life.
Yeah.
Shapeshift into an animal or have the powers, that kind of thing. I mean, it's kind of silly easy. Both of us have like the cat as our spirit animal kind of thing. And so, I play a druid as my main character in WoW, so it just seems like I would take on the feline. And I think one of the things that I'm always amazed by whenever I see my cats move is the ability to be able to jump from a low surface to a high surface with little to no effort. They're the way that they're built. And so, but I know that there would be things that I would want. Like, there have been times where I'm like, you're sitting on the sofa and you're nice and comfy because you're under a blanket and like your glass of water is all the way over there. And you just want to be able to
use the force.
Yes!
Just bring it over.
You just want to go like,
come on, it's not an X-wing out of the swamp. Come on, it's just a glass of water.
Telekinesis, man. I just want telekinesis. Just bring it to me. Accio, glass of water. That's what I want. So can I be a cat that just has telekinesis? That would be perfect.
A telekinetic cat, yeah.
Yes.
That could work. Rambling Noob in the chat room said I'd be a Klingon that could fly.
Oh,
Kapla!
It
Flying
looks like your
batlets.
dad said he'd like the ability to read minds.
That one, I wouldn't want it because I don't want to know what people are thinking, because that could be dangerous.
You know what you're thinking half the time, and then you're like,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
want people
yeah.
to be
It's like,
able
I
to
don't
think
want
of that.
anybody else to know this. They wouldn't want to be around me if I knew I had these thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Gee, I
Oh,
don't know if I want to ask you anymore.
no, I mean, everybody's like that. Everybody has a stray thought. They're like, what? They think that thought, and then they're like, what did I just think? Of what?
Yeah, my
It's
brain,
like,
I know my brain is weird, so everybody else's is similar to mine.
uh-huh. Yep. Let's see. I really dig the Animorphs books when I was growing up.
I didn't read
So I
those.
would want the ability to change into any animal I wanted. I would want the ability to levitate and fly, and I would want to be able to like shoot lightning out of my hands. So I'd be like
Boom.
a Raiden that can change into different animals.
You're like a raiden animal.
Yeah, I'm a Raiden animal. Then I could transform into any animal, like even a mythological creature if I wanted to. So I could be a dragon, I could be a kitty cat, I could be, a humpback whale if I wanted to. Anything, just to kind of blend in with surroundings, and then at least expect it, turn back human, and shoot them with lightning, and then fly away victorious.
How in the world are you going to blend into the surroundings of a humpback whale, dude?
It might be the ocean.
Do you know how big those things are?
Well, I mean, they're in the ocean too. I mean, like if some bad guys are out in an underwater lair,
Look
and
at
I
the
kind of
big
just
freaking whale is what they're going to do.
they're just gonna be like, hey, there's a big freaking whale, and then they go back to their evil dastardly schemes, and then I shoot lightning out of my fins because I can still do the lightning as a humpback whale. Blows up, and
Oh.
then that blows out the window. They lose air pressure. They go out and they start drowning. Then I swallow them up and I take them back to the surface, spit them out, transform into my human self, and then I pick them up and drag them to jail.
You have this all planned out. I have nothing else to say to that.
I'm shooting from the hip on this
You
one.
are. That's amazing. That was amazing. And I don't think there's anything more we could say to that. Wow. Humpback whale man for the win.
Yep. Lightning. Humpback whale with lightning.
You have stunned the chat room into
Yeah.
speechlessness. So that will do it for our Tell Us One Thing of this evening.
Yes, that will do it.
That'll do, Big. That'll do. So you can send us your Tell Us One Thing questions and make Marconin go on an amazing tangent like that by going to our Twitter account, which is Tauren Think Tank on Twitter. You can send them via email, questions@torrenthinktank.com. You can send them via Facebook, facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You can do all of it. All of it.
Mhm.
We ask for them on Thursdays, but if you think of it sooner, send it on over because we like them. And now we will do some things that aren't from the hip. It's our feedback.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you. Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
Yes, it is. We've got quite a few tonight, so we will get through them as quickly as we can. From the first one. Oh, did I put that other one out there? I forgot. Did I put that there? I forgot to put one in here. I'll do it next week. Okay.
Okay.
I thought I had it and I
The
forgot.
show
to
is
put it in.
suddenly shorter.
Damn it! Hello, Jules and Marconin. First off, I wanted to say I have enjoyed the Triple T show for the last few months. I have been listening. I found the show through Realm Maintenance, and I very much like your unique look at WoW players. Kind of bummed I just missed out on the Pen Pal program. I have been playing catch up on episodes and did not hear until it was too late. I hope to take part in the next round, though thought it sounds like fun. The actual point of my email is to ask about the possibility of your help. As I listen to episodes, I hear other players with what appears to be close to the same issues I have. Friends no longer play but still enjoy the game. Social anxieties that keep us from running content with random players, and yet we still have this desire to see new content. So I'm trying to reach out to other players like myself. Slightly awkward, had a bunch of friends in the game at one time, and most have moved on or we play at different times. Not comfortable with our roles enough to think we can accomplish what a pug wants to accomplish, yet wants to see new content and maybe make a few new friends along the way. I've tried Facebook groups, Reddit, WoW forums with very little success. Listening to your show, I think you have a listener base that might be interested in such a group, and thanks to Cross Realms, there's no reason we could not. I am a Horde main, but would think about boosting an alliance if the interest was on that side. So my favorite is to ask if you could mention the idea during the show. Feel free to give out my battle tag, which is HOMCHZ pound 1710. I figure I only need to find 9 other people in the entire WoW universe that feel the same way as I do, after listening to your show gives me hope that they are out there. Love the show and look forward to future listening. From Josh, aka Senaj, Orc Warrior, Horde, Stagholm, US. I thought this was a cool thing. If you're looking for something like Josh was mentioning, his battle tag is HOMCHZ pound 1710. And he's willing to play with other people who are like him. And if he listens to this show, then you guys have something in common. There you go.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and we both have Horde tunes, so
yes, we do.
Maybe we could play with them sometime too.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of people out there who are looking for that. And just to mention the Pen Pal program, we will do another round of the Pen Pal program soon, probably within the next month or so, just to let people get a chance to get to know their current Pen Pals if they're already in it. But then we'll do another round and match people up. So we want to give ample opportunity, but not do it too often so that it's not as available. It's like, I just found somebody. I don't need that anymore. So we're going to kind of see how much. I think the sweet spot's about 2 months, every 2 months or so. Yeah. And there you go. And with that, it is time to show off what you guys have been giving to other people in the form of the /moo.
First up, this one's from Haster. /moo to the tamale ladies being at the farmer's market today. I've missed my vegetarian tamales for many weeks. So you get to get his veggie tamale fix.
Nice. I love it.
That sounds good.
From Nikosi Tiefenbach, /moos to my raid team. You guys rock. Especially Day, who is a healing boss.
That's a cool sounding name, too.
It is.
This one is a /moo to Emania on Blackwater Raiders for not killing me in the Deep Run tram. Here's the story that goes along with it. I had just gotten the selfie camera on my main, a Horde Pandaren hunter, and decided to go for the field photographer achievement. I took the Stormwind entrance to the Deep Run tram as it seemed more accessible than the Ironforge entrance. I immediately snapped a selfie when I got into the tram, then dismissed my pet and rode the tram to Ironforge and back, taking selfies along the way to see if I could get a good shot. I didn't, so I was about to leave, and right as I was headed to the exit, a level 100 Night Elf Druid entered the tram. I froze, unsure of what to do, and feigned death as a way of saying, I don't want to fight. When I wasn't attacked, I pulled out the selfie camera, and the Druid posed behind me in the shot. And that /moo, a very awesome /moo, is from Willow Cricket.
That's awesome. I love that one.
Yeah, that was a great shot, too. That was really cool.
And we have another story /moo. This one is, I have a holy priest, and up until recently, the thought of healing terrified me. Not just 5-mans, but raids too. After some bad experiences in Cataclysm and ICC, my anxiety about screwing up while in a group and getting bashed on, which I think is far worse than being vote kicked, skyrocketed. It was so bad that I refused to do anything beyond get him to level cap with every expansion release and be my brother's pocket healer while going through old raids for transmog fodder and otherwise playing only DPS characters. I'd heard that most of the more reasonable, level-headed raid leaders had flocked to open raid. I found a group that I meshed with very well right away. EOTT, aka Elder of the Thing. They are good people who are happy to take newbies and less skilled players. They are my kind of people. So my /moo is to Elder of the Thing. Because of you, I've made a lot of progress in my anxiety issues in regards to raid healing, and now I really love playing my Holy Priest again. So much that I'm dusting off my Tauren Priest to level him so I can heal from my Horde guild. Thank you, from Yoshi.
That's really good. I love open raid.
I love them too, and I sent them. I sent a tweet that we had a story for them, and Derry from Open Raid came back and said, "We love you guys too." They're just great. I mean,
Yeah.
And we got a reply from someone for that tweet that said, I found my guild through Open Raid, and it's been the best experience that I've ever had. So you know what? If you are looking for people to raid with opportunities, there are some really cool people out on Open Raid. I totally recommend it. It's on, and it's, EU, US, all of it. So check them out on Open Raid. It's a website.
Yeah.
You sign up for it. You get to be able to find groups that are running different content of all levels. And so whatever you're interested in, you can find it.
Yeah, Blizzard liked that idea so much they put the pre-made groups in the game to kind of be like that.
Yeah.
To kind of be like Open Raid and the other cross-realm group finding websites and add-ons, and that's how I got my my ICC and Ulduar Drakes back in the day, or back in Cataclysm and the beginning of Mists of Pandaria was Open Raid.
Yeah.
Somebody would have a group, and you just sign up, and you go, and if they approve you, then you go.
And what's
It's very
nice
cool.
is that if you have perhaps a group that isn't so good, they have a rating system, so you can downgrade. Like a raid leader may just, if they were abusive or not very organized, you can make comments so that it takes on, they have a rating system, which is good. So hopefully people don't abuse that. So
Yeah, I've had nothing but good experiences. When I actually get into a group, then it's always people are like, yeah, we're going to do this, man. It's great. And they're nice people. So,
good.
and I have a little slash moo at the end as well.
Good.
I wanted to slash moo to our very own guildie Tank Police. He's the guy who brought together the group to kill Knack the Thunderer in the Grand, and I just happened to be sleep deprived and awake at such an hour as to join in the group and get my Bloodhoof Bull mount. So slash moo to you, Tank Police. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Now I only need the Path Runner. I only need the Elec in Shadow Moon Valley to have all of the just the world mounts. Well,
Nice.
that and the Void Talon, but that one's going to take me a while.
Yeah. Well, it's just things to strive for. They can't all be
Yeah.
easy.
I know.
I know.
know.
He just pouted a little bit.
But I want the purple hawk. I want it so bad. It's so pretty, Jules. So pretty.
I know it's pretty. So if you have some epic slash moves like our listeners did this week, you can send them over to our email, which is questions@taurenThinkTank.com. You can tweet them to us. I ask for them on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons, depending on when I put the tweet out, but you can send them day of to get them into the show, and they are meant for people who you want to give a big shout out to. It's awesome. That's how you do it. Our show is on iTunes and Stitcher and all a host of other places that you can find us, and you can leave us reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. We love that you do that, and we thank you when you do. So please check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and all of the other places that you hear us. You can hear us on Alpha Geek Radio, which is currently where we're streaming at the moment, and you can also find us on our website. We have a player right on our website, which is torrenthinktank.com, all that great stuff. So, oh my gosh, Marconin. We did a show.
Sounds like that's just about a show right there.
I think we did a show.
I think so.
I think so too. So what's going on with you? Anything that you want to pimp and talk about and rave about for the week?
Well, gosh, I was trying to think about that earlier today. Aside from working this week, not really anything. I'm still on the hunt for mounts as usual. I think that's about it for now. I don't really have anything to plug. Due to a error in computers, I'm going to have to re-record the back half of Ready Player One with Rayanne and Arcane for their show Realm of Books, and so we're going to coordinate that next month. So
during computers.
During computers. So that's going to have to happen at some point next month. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing, because that was a lot of fun the first time.
Yeah, so now you get to do it again.
Now I just have to remember all the funny things I said, which I don't think there were that many, because I don't think that was funny.
Well, now you get to make up more of them.
I have like a month to think of a lot of funny things. So funny.
It's so funny.
So funny. Yeah, but that's about it for me. What about you? Any IRI better this week?
Yes, there was. And we talked about a lot of cool stuff this week, and the show should be out pretty soon. If it's not, I think it's a little later than normal because Cliff has some in-laws in town. But we had a good time. We joked about a lot of weird stuff this week, and some weird mashups that we found of like Metallica and Hall & Oates.
Oh,
I know.
I think I heard about that somewhere.
Yeah. It's
I
something.
I love the metal version of the Mary Poppins one. Yes,
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
that one
Yeah.
was great. That was
Yes.
great.
Well, they found a metal version of like a thrash metal version of "You're the One That I Want" from Grease too. Grease also, not Grease 2. So
Let's say what?
I know Grease 2, man. That is another thing you could talk about. But if you
Oh,
want to check it out, it'll be out this week. It's I Remembered It Better. You can find that on iTunes, Stitcher, all the great stuff, or iribetter.com. And with that, we are going to take the show on the road. Was it home?
yes.
Home?
Take it on the road home.
Okay, let's do that.
Maybe.
Let's make that sound like we can hear it. There we go.
Ah.
Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Our voiceovers are done by two uber mages, Arcane and myself, Marconin. You can find us outside of the show at our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us as well. Hey, if you like t-shirts, and if you're a human being, I think you do, and if you want another t-shirt to your collection, you can go and get one of your very own Tauren Think Tank shirts, and you can find those at slashloot.com. You got 3 designs to choose from in 3 different colors. It's a good time. They're good shirts. I love them.
Do you like to wear clothes? Then you buy one.
Do you not walk around naked every day and would like Tauren Think Tank on your chest? Have a t-shirt.
Thank you to all of our patrons for making this show possible. Our show will always be free, but your support helps us make it do even more, like talk about not being naked and wearing our t-shirts. If you would like to become a patron of the show and support us, you can do that by going to patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
Yes, you can. There's a lot of cool stuff over there.
Yeah.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at TaurenThinkTank. You can find Jules at JulesRPG, and myself, Marconin, is at MarconinWow. You can also chat with us on the forums if you want to go with those boards some love. You can find those boards at forums.signalsmedia.com.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat room, for being an awesome part of the show this evening. I have to go back and read all the great stuff you were posting because it was flying by way too fast.
Yeah, it was.
And they and you can hang out with us every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Central Daylight Time. It's daylight time. And it's twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank for the video stream. You can come to our mobile audio stream if you don't have video available to tunein.alphageekradio.com. We love seeing you guys with us, and we appreciate every one of you who listens to this show.
Yes, we
Our
do.
music's going to run out, so Marconin, have a great week.
You too, Jules.
For myself, for Marconin, from Arcane, for the entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
Really? Dwagon.
Marconin couldn't see me laughing as I totally. I'm looking at the music and I'm like, we have 15 seconds left. Ah! Run out of the music.
Well, the transition sounded good this time.
Yeah, it
The
didn't.
transition
though. I had
went
to
well.
turn the volume up. So I'm
That's
gonna
what I
have
was
to
like.
edit that
Yes, we got the transition.
again. No. That's why I'm putting the loser sign on my forehead right now.
Yeah, I saw it on the. I'm watching your picture on the Twitch stream, but then I've got my show notes between. I've
Yeah.
got the show notes covering up my face because I don't want to see my face for this show.
I don't want to see my face.
I don't want to see myself.
Show me the fish.
Good night, Dad. I'll see you later.
Good night, Dad. Oh, you guys are great, man. Your comments during the think tank question were heavy and amazing, and the two of us, I could tell the two of us are trying not to choke up. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
a little bit.
don't cry. So
No, Marconin, don't cry.
no, Marconin, don't cry.
Instead of no woman, no cry. Oh, there we go. Pop my back a little bit.
Did we say that? We said that on the stream beforehand. We said we're here, we're steer, get used to it. Was that on the
Yeah.
stream? That was early.
Yeah, that was on the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that question was heavy and amazing, and I think we really, I'm glad we had it. I'm honored that we got that question to talk about.
Yeah,
but I think she
I'm-
already
I'm-
knew what she was wanting to do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it was a valid concern, like I said during the show. It's valid to think these things through because major life changes are just that. They're major.
Why
know,
would you
I-
not think it through and think about all the consequences? I mean, it's what we all do. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's an amazing thing. So I just, I wish her a ton of luck and hope that she gets as much time as she wants with it.
Me
with
too.
her
Me too.
relationship, because we never know. But
Yeah.
yeah, and so literally as we're talking about this, there's a cat floating around the room, in the room with me, walking around, and I'm like, just like, don't cry, kitty.
Yeah. The girls aren't in the room today. I gave them a whole lot of love today.
Yeah.
Whole lot of rubs and pets and scratches and
Yep.
sliding them across the kitchen floor. It's kind of wee, like the video,
That video,
like the video.
that I posted on my Facebook
Yes.
page. So
Yes, I
your
love
cats
that.
do that?
They don't go that far, and they don't really like it that much. Like I'll sweep them, and they'll go like maybe a foot, and then they'll roll over and stand up.
That's fun. So the
You know,
video
they
that I
just-
posted was like a ragdoll kitty, long hair, and the owner, it ran up to her and it laid down. It was a guy actually laid down in front of him, and he took the cat and he just pushed him like across this slick floor, and the cat just glided. And he just waited till he stopped, and then he got up and walked back.
It was like curling.
It was so cute. Oh yeah, Spike is hanging down with Kane, and he is he's been a love bug today. I'm playing the Addams Family pinball game on my iPad, and I'm sitting on my bed, and the cat is rubbing around. He's rubbing my back and my shoulder, and then he's rubbing the iPad so the pads go as I'm trying to play pinball.
I want to play too, Mom.
I want to play too, Mom. It's so cute. So my kitties are awesome. Purling. I love it. That's awesome, Lori.
Whirling. Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
I dig that.
Okay, 20, go drink a big glass of water for us.
Yeah, you can emotionally drink water. That's what I was gonna
mostly
say.
drink water. I may have to go have a second beer tonight. It's just been one of those weeks.
Yeah, I drank 2 full glasses of water before the show, but I am dry mouthed right now, so I'm gonna get some water as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dash Aminator asked about Kiddo. So I didn't say anything on the show tonight because she's in the other room and she can hear me. She's dead asleep now, so she's not going to hear a darn thing. But Kiddo has been in a lot of trouble lately at school. So she has been not telling the
Get
truth
some
to
water.
us and our teacher and her teachers. So she has been having some problems, and she got herself into more trouble because Miss Thing thinks that all the adults in her life are not smart. So so she has been in the doghouse, and Arcane has been working really hard to try to help her get her stuff together, because she basically just didn't do a 2 weeks worth of assignments, homework, because she told her teachers that her parents told her to bring them home, and she told us that she did it at school. So she just didn't do the work, and she got caught. So yeah, she needs to put in the work. Kiddo is one of those kids that just, if anything comes up where she's not, it's hard, she just tends to throw up her hands and say, I don't know how, which is why this whole thing with the in-laws, with the grandparents, was insanely crazy. Like I never saw it coming, because she doesn't usually act like that. So do I think it's a reaction to the emotional trauma? Possibly. But this is how she's been since she's been a little kid. If it gets hard, she gives up. So we're trying to work through that, because you know, when you got parents that are like, you know what, when things get hard, you knuckle down and you dig in harder and you push until you get it done. That's really, really hard for us to stomach. It's just that laziness, and she wants to be able to skate by, and she can't. She's got to work at it because it doesn't come easier to her. So it's tough. It's really tough. She's been, and then of course this week she went to Taekwondo and rolled her ankle, so she's been on crutches. So now we've got grouchy, moody, like not telling the truth. And then we found out today that she called her mom this morning and woke her mom up so that she could try to get out of her grounding. And her mom told us about it, and it was like, oh, that's not good. Not good.
Uh-oh.
I would say out of all of this, though, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, the relationship that we've had with her mother has been better because we're all kind of on the same page to make sure she gets the work done.
That's good. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just... So we're all coming at it from the same place of you're going to be grounded and you're going to be, we're going to stick to our guns on this. So she got herself grounded to her room tonight and tomorrow because she lied. Because she's trying to play one parent off the other. And then she lied about that too. So...
Oh, you caught her? You called her on it? And she's like, no, I didn't.
So Kane confronted her because what happened was he let her go out and play with her friend after she got all of her homework done, which took all day. It took all night last night and half of the day today for her to get it all done because she just doesn't pay attention and doesn't follow the assignments. So finally, he let her go out, probably against his better judgment, let her go out to play because it's nice outside. And she really wanted to go play with her friend. So he's like, okay, I'll let her go. And we found out about this while she was out playing with her friend, about her mom. So she comes back in. He says, when were you going to tell me that you called your mom? And she's like, well, I just wanted to vent to her. And he said, no, I will read you the text she sent me where she said, kiddo called me to try to weasel her way out of being grounded, to negotiate, to plead her case. And that's what it was. And so so she's going on and on. And so I finally turned to her and I said, do you think we're stupid? And she said, no, I don't think you guys are stupid. And I said, really? You think your teachers are stupid? No. Well, you're certainly acting like you think we're stupid. And so Kane says, did you or did you not call your mother? And she said, yes. And he said, did you or did you not tell your mother, ask your mother about her friend coming into town and whether or not she could go? No, I didn't. Yes, you did, because your mother said this. So I'm going to call your mother, and I'm going to ask her. And if she tells me that you tried to get out of your grounding, then you're grounded for another week. And he picks up his phone, and he's looking like he's going to dial it. He's like, I'm calling your mother right now. And she goes, all right, fine, I did tell her, and I did want to get out of my grounding. And I'm like, yep. He's like, cognitive dissonance, Jules. That's how you do it.
Yep.
Hit her with a yes or no, put her up to it. She knew if she lied again, she was going to get grounded for a week, and that's what did it. So
yeah, she's on track to being grounded the rest of the school year.
Good Lord. This kid she's a tough one because she just, she tries to play one person against the other, tries to play her teachers against her parents, tries to play the one parent against the other. And it's like, when we all come together and we all are on the same goal, you're not getting nothing. So, yeah, girlfriend, she was more focused on getting off of her grounding than trying to do a good job in school, and that pissed us off. So,
yeah, that's that's some priorities that need to get rearranged a little bit.
I mean, she is sitting there as we're going. He's going through her homework, and she's like, "I feel really good about this. I feel like I got it all right." And he's like, "You got this wrong. You got this wrong. You got this wrong. You got this wrong." And he's going through it. This is not easy math homework, but she's just not getting it right. And she's like, "Well, at least I got 2 right." And we're like,
out of how many?
Like 15. This is how she thinks, and we're like, and I'm looking at her like, why are you proud of that? Like, seriously.
I mean, you understand the concept a little bit.
And so she's like, at least I got a couple of them right. He's like, yeah, you got a couple of them right, but you now need to redo all the rest of them. And so she goes back, she redoes them, she redoes them, she comes back again, redoes them, and she goes back in. There's still half of them are wrong because she's not paying attention to the assignments. And so we're starting to wonder if she's got maybe a little bit of attention deficit problems. We're just not sure because she just doesn't, like, the instructions can be right in front of her. And I've seen this with her. Like, during Christmas time, she was going around, she wanted to make the brownies from a box. And you've made brownies from a box, most likely. It's pretty simple. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the brownie mix and some eggs and some water and maybe some oil. And she, so I said to her, read the instructions completely when you get this, and read them fully before you start doing anything, because you've never done this before. And she reads them, and she, like, misreads about half of what's on there on the box. And so I said to her, and she comes out and she goes, am I supposed to put the entire bag of the mix in the bowl? And I looked at her and I said, why would you think otherwise? Well, it doesn't say that. It's like, what are you going to do with half of it? Like, it's this overthinking.
Are you going to sprinkle it on top as a crunchy topping?
I have no idea. So it's all this stuff where I'm just like, dude, you overthink it. You don't take in all of the information, and it gets really frustrating for all.
Yeah. That may be something she could learn too, that she needs to learn to control, like learn to maybe do some, thinking through the process of, okay, or I forgot what the term is for it, but
well, it's deductive reasoning a lot of times.
Deductive reasoning. That's it. Yeah.
And
maybe she doesn't know how to do that.
And I have done this with her plenty of times for, like, trying to figure out a problem from start to finish. Okay, what do I need next? What do I need next? She can have instructions, like, blazing in her face, staring right in front of her, and she doesn't get it. It just doesn't process, or she doesn't do it. Like, the math problem says, it says write your estimate and then show your work for the actual answer. So it's 2 steps. Write an estimate, do the math, show your work, and have an answer. And it was too much. She couldn't get it all. And he kept going back and saying, where's your estimate? Where's this? She knows how to do it, but she doesn't follow the whole thing. So we have some things that we have to talk about with her teachers, to say there's some problems here, because then she gets freaked when she doesn't understand, and she has an emotional blow up. And so,
yeah, because it can be very frustrating to just not understand and not know. If she doesn't understand what she's doing wrong, she doesn't know how to fix it. It's just
and you watch her when you're talking to her about these things. You watch her, and she's, like, off in the distance, staring at her wrist. At one point, she had her head, like, down on the floor, and we're like, "Can you pay attention? Can you pay attention, please? Like, are you listening?" So. Yeah. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what it is. So, in any case, that's an update on how she's doing. My father-in-law was here because he is an accountant, and he did our taxes for us this year, and he came here, and she refused to talk to him. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to force her to. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to. And they have made no overtures to try to reach out to her. So, yeah, I don't know. So, yep, we'll see. We'll see where it shakes out.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. So that's about it. That's an update on my life. Thanks for asking. I couldn't really talk about it earlier because she was awake, and she's right next door, so she would have heard me talking about it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't need to cause any extra heat.
No, she's yeah, we're already not her favorite people right now, because we're the mean, awful parents who try her to actually do her work in school.
Yes, absolutely. You're the mean parents that helped stand with her against her grandparents.
Yes.
And we're there for her.
Mm-hmm. Give her a good life with things that she can have, and we take them away when she doesn't do right. So
yeah.
Yep. So anyway, that's what's going on, and yeah. So next week we'll have Jim Beverly with us. We'll have 3 people on the show. It's
Yes.
gonna be good. I think we're gonna talk about change next week.
Yeah, I was wondering what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I've mentioned to him, and we have to we have to come up with some more thoughts. But one of them I think is related to change, because change is a big part of the military. So
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really put down roots when you're in the inactive military.
right. So we'll kind of talk about that, and then coping mechanisms with change and mental games you play and all that kind of good stuff. So, and Jim is also just fun to talk to, so we'll get some good jokey stuff, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Tell
yeah,
us
and
one
I'm
thing
gonna
like it was tonight. It's gonna be even more fun with him there.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to go listen to episode 49 again to
Me
brush
too.
up.
I do too.
Whoop.
Whoops. And with
Drop the
that,
keychain.
Crash.
See, not only do they have our logo on them when I turn them the right way, but they are hardy. Like I just dropped it and it didn't break. I don't want to get messed up in my pocket, so I keep it here on my desk.
Keep it on the
every
desk to
week.
play with. There you go.
Yes.
All right, my dears, we're going to head out and start processing the show for you, so it'll be up tomorrow, and we will see you next week. In 2 weeks, we're going to be off. Marconin has a wedding to attend, and I am going to probably go out of town for the day. So we will catch you guys next week, and then we'll be off for another one. But we'll have a show next week, so plan on it.
Yeah.
We'll see you then. Slash
See you
boo,
later.
everybody.
Slash boo, guys. Have a great night and weekend.
Bye.